Hello. Hello. Sorry, I forgot I had to hit record as well for the other thing. Hello and welcome. Welcome to War at 4, where it's just a war sometimes to be here. Sproing. Hey now. I appreciate the enthusiasm, Big High Knight. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Where have you been? It feels like it's been so long since I've seen you. What's up, Banana? Oh, wow, Banana here. Wow, my goodness gracious. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is good to be back. Well, it would be better to be back. I've got my inhaler. It's right. I got my inhaler. So hopefully if it keeps acting up, I'll be able to squelch it here. But, the Mo photos worked. They did, Baldrick. Was it you? Somebody... Somebody... Okay, I should probably start using this. Somebody did, I think I put it in the Discord, the, oh, you know what? Here, let me stop yapping. What you're all here for. Go ahead and check this out. Hang on a second.
You trusted me. How foolish.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. That is the good stuff. I'm gonna be bringing it on in a second here. I just wanted to get situated and caught up and get the audio levels where they need to be, because I know. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna have to turn this down because I've got you on the same track. So we're gonna bring that down, and then I can bring this up to about there. Should be good. And then, yeah, once I bring Io, let's make it. But yeah, Exo Baldrick, all the milk was not printed down in vain. Oops. No. Oh gosh, I can't even navigate the menu anymore. I've lost the touch. But yeah, no, oh, lag my show. Okay, yeah, that's right. In any case, I do appreciate the send out there, but unfortunately there was nothing exciting, just, you know, banal, ridiculous, sick. It's the most frustrating thing. You know, I would never wish or never want food poisoning again. That was probably the most acute, prolonged pain I've experienced, because there's no pain med for it. I mean, unless you're going to get like a morphine drip, but they're not going to give you that, and I'm not going to go to the hospital for that. But it's just like acute pain, like you've been stabbed in the stomach. But it only lasts 12 to 14 hours. I mean, that's a long time. You're miserable the entire time. You can't do a damn thing. But when it's over, it's over. You have one night to kind of get your sleep schedule back on track, and you're good to go. So I'm not downplaying that, but at least that is it's over and done. It kicks your butt and then it goes. This bull crap is like perpetual fatigue and exhaustion mixed with a cough that whatever you're not doing, it like I've been vertical now for about an hour and it's starting to do this. When I go to sleep tonight, when I lay down to go to sleep, it's going to start up again. Like it should eventually start wearing off after like 7 or 8 hours. The cough will. And as long as I'm asleep, but then by that time it ramps down. When I go to sleep, when I lay down, after about 10 minutes, it's going to start up again. So every time I try to get out of bed, I'm demotivated because I'm exhausted, and because I know as soon as I get up, I'm going to start coughing my lungs out again. And then to go to sleep, laying back down or trying to go back down, if I've gotten up at all during the day for a substantial period of time, i.e. a couple hours, then I've got 2 or 3 hours at least of the sleep. It's just stupid, and it's guy sick. It's guy sick. I mean, you can fight through it, but it's just one of those things where unless you absolutely have to, you just don't want to get the heck out of bed. And it's just, and you don't, and when you are there, you have zero energy, so you're just kind of wafting through life. And it's been doing that for almost 3 weeks. I think the last thing I did anything was the 6th of the month. I mean, and that's what, I mean, I haven't played a game other than I did. Well, we can talk about that later. Wait a bit, on long life milk. That sounds nasty. It is, and it's just ridiculous. It is, because you feel like a wuss because it's not like debilitating. I'm not like hunched over the toilet or anything. It literally is just feeling absolutely miserable in perpetuity and just having zero energy for anything. But, you know, you just, at some point, I mean, I started working again. And that's been the other problem. Well, not the other problem. It's actually kind of good. I'm just catching all up, and then we get Io in here, and he'll probably do most of the talking, so I'm coughing into the mic all the time. So the freelance that I've been doing, or hadn't been doing now for 2 weeks, I started working on that again. And the folks that I'm with have gotten an influx of clientele. And pretty much they've said, I've got now somebody else assigning me work too. And so they've it sounds like, I have to feel it out, but it sounds like without being official full-time, I could go full-time with this. But in order to do that, I need to give myself that time. I need to take out a chunk of about 8 hours a day to see if there's enough work to sustain that. And if it isn't, I got to go back to the job hunt. I did do a job hunt right before I started getting sick. I had applied at like 7 or 8 different places. Haven't heard anything back, of course, but I'll have to restart that if it's not. Anyway, it's just a lot of stuff is in flux. So it worked out. Like I was hoping. I realized I was gonna have to ease off the streaming, you know, to accommodate that, and kind of just make that my my focus, and then just do this when I could, and then this happened. So anyway. All right, so let's go ahead. But it is good to see you all. Very nice, but first get better. Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, I was talking to a friend. He's out in Cali, but he said, and he works in the restaurant business. Now, he's no longer in the restaurant. He's now like the regional guy, so he's not, you know, in the restaurants as much. But he was saying it's been going around like a month long. Yeah, but luckily, Dano, luckily... He is almost out of... He's an MF-er out of cards. That's the key. He is out of cards. Okay, never mind. I forgot. I didn't see the Mania lane there. So yeah, never mind. Never mind. I don't see a really good option for this. It's my tournament deck. Oh, okay. Nice. Wait, which tournament? Was there a tournament recently that I missed? But yeah, Control-ish Crusader is one of my favorites. All right, so let's go ahead. Hopefully this will work. I was very pleasantly surprised. Everything in OBS seemed to have worked out okay. Okay, Night Dark Wolves tournament. Excellent, excellent.
Excuse me.
Just forget about C.
Are you there, Io?
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hang on one second because I spoke too soon. Discord is not... Oh, wait. No, wait. You know what? Hang on. Duh. Oh, actually, no. Shoot. Hang on. I forgot the whole reason I... Okay, go ahead and talk again.
Better. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone.
All right. Let me...
Is that good?
It's picking you up as should be expected, but I just want to make sure people can hear you. So crank this up a little bit more. All right.
Well, I'm using words to talk. Hopefully that's good.
Yes. No, Underhill. Shutdown is next Thursday, I believe. So it's not going to quite make it, huh?
31st, I think, isn't it Friday?
Is it Friday? No, it's not 31st. It's the 30th. Remember, we were all like, wait, why is it? It's not at the start of the week. It's not at the end of the week. It's not on the last day of the month. I'm pretty sure it's the 30th, which is very bizarre. But can you all let us know if you can hear Io? Io, go ahead and monologue for a second so that we can make sure that the good folks don't hear you.
When I was but a wee lad, I was a wee lad, and then I grew up and I'm no longer a wee lad. And I'm out of words to say.
Wow. I gave you a chance to monologue for a minute and I got about 10 seconds. This is interesting. I'm trying to think. I mean, ideally I don't use desktop audio when I have the levels different.
Could be on my end being a little bit silly as well. I muted the stream and turned it off to help with bandwidth. It might be a little bit poopy. But it should be okay.
Yeah. We should be good. As long as they can.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. Well, y'all just let us know if you can't hear IO or if you can't hear the game or whatever. Okay, so Baldric heard that you were a wee lad. Oh, in the wee lad country. I know those parts well.
Sure.
Well, perhaps you were neighbors at one point. Wee lad is a very small place, as you can imagine.
What did you I'm glad you're feeling better overall.
Well, it's more of just okay. This could go on. I mean, it is right now. It is markedly better than it was 2 weeks ago, but it's not. It's not the oh hey like I'm over the hill kind of improvement. So yeah, but at some point you just gotta what is it? Get busy living or get busy dying. Damn straight.
Damn straight.
Where is the Brave rant? Is that for me or for Io? I don't have rants about Brave. Oh, by the way, I did want to point out though. I don't know if you all saw it. His opponent, while playing Telvanni, did have a nifty little TK421 name, which for those of you, of course, who are a bit nerdy, that is the TK421. Why aren't you post? TK421. Do you copy? That is the stormtrooper that was hailed in the original Star Wars. That Han Solo and his crew knocked out, and he comes out down the ramp and he does this, and the guy's like, "We got a bad comm." He goes to check it out. So yeah, we just lost to the guy who is technically dead, I guess, at least a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Take it away, Io.
Well, there's unfortunately a stream delay, so I don't know if we're watching anything right now. But yeah, Star Wars. Jar Jar sucks. Enough said. Let's see, we're watching a game. We are not. Alright. Is everyone, how many of you are playing in the tournament tomorrow? I think it's Night Dark Wolf's final tournament. The 25th to, don't put the date on, 25th to 26th. I think Daniel must be playing. He brought one of his event decks.
Oh right. Oh, sorry. Big Hein, I forgot about that. I'm out of the loop here. Yes. Theron is everybody's favorite card, including Denise. She loves Theron. She's one of her lovelies, and she did some good work there, or bad work, I guess, as you may. But yes, agreed. I don't know that that's a hot take per se. That Jar Jar is largely just right. Wow. So what's going? Is this your turn? Are you? I missed it. I was looking at something else. Are you playing in the tournament? Is it your tournament deck?
No, I'm not playing in the tournament. It's on Sunday. If I made it to the quarterfinal, that is. But gotcha. I work on Sunday, so couldn't participate. That is okay.
Okay, Denise, I chuckle and I go, oh, this is what it takes to get Denise. That was a litmus test. Like, is Denise here? Because if I say something about her loving Theron, if she is here, if she is within an earshot, she will respond. It cannot be helped. She must maintain a reputation. So no greetings. No greetings from Denise. No hello. No good to see you. Nothing. Just no. You got to bait her out these days with some inflammatory rhetoric. I said hello, but didn't hit send. Well, you sure hit send when you said, stop lying about that witch. When it matters, it matters. Negative got a reactor leak. Large leak, very dangerous. Who is this? What's your operating number? We're in conversation anyway. Luke, we're gonna have company. I love that line. That was. It sounds good enough that it could have been like an improv thing, like. Just like I don't know. I don't know if the script was that savvy or not, but that was a pretty entertaining little bit.
The movies had their moments. Ooh, then I heard the lie, so deleted the hello. There you go. See what you've turned her into.
Yeah,
well, hopefully things will feel better for you in a couple weeks. At first I thought it was just like, oh, you got a lot of work to do from last minute stuff like you mentioned before, I think, somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like it's much more than that. It's like a cold or something that's kicking your face.
Yeah. So ironically, or no, I guess it's not ironic. Interestingly, when I showed up for the well, kind of showed up for the D&D session,
yep.
It was largely lack of sleep due to the heavy workload and all that kind of stuff that it came in, and I had not been able to get any sleep, so I was just out of my mind with the sleep thing. And then at some point, as I caught up on my sleep, I developed this nonsense.
Probably as a result.
Yep. But I mean, if I'd known that, missing a few nights of sleep was going to result in about a month of devastation, I probably would have just, gotten some more sleep. But
I mean, if I had last minute stuff that they wanted to do in a few days from 7 years ago, I would have told them to eat sand as I take my healthy time.
Well, here's the truth of it, because I never want to obscure the truth. Like I wasn't keen on announcing it, but when that kind of thing comes up, I do have to admit a lot of it was literally like typo. Like there was a typo that I did not catch as the editor. I did not catch as it was reviewed. It was not caught, but it required a complete reconstitution of all 8 videos and re-renders and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, that wasn't the full extent of it, but that was a big issue. So it was partially on me. I mean, I told the guy, when he told me about it, I was like, because we got this done, like I said, back 7 years ago was when I sent them the video files originally. And I just, they bought me a drive to put all the files on, and I kept it around. But, anyway, but this was the first time they were actually, it was supposed to be on Netflix a while ago, but they were just now getting around to it. And, or some, I don't know if it's Amazon or what, but yeah, as they were doing a final review, and they're like, oh, the host, the lead person, her name is spelled wrong. And I was like, oh, so yeah, I didn't know, they didn't catch it. Or I should say I didn't catch it. So in other words, part of it was on me. If I hadn't screwed up that, and they had, I mean, yeah, you want them to catch it, but as the editor, like, it's kind of on me to get the stuff in there correctly. So that's why I was very quick to respond, and I took it very seriously, because even though it is a long time ago, and I didn't really, I mean, for the amount of work, the amount of hours I put in, I got paid probably $5-6 an hour to do it, even back then. But you don't want to screw people over, and they weren't mad. They were just like, oh my gosh, because we did like 5 or 6 revisions of each video, and it was there in every single one of them, and it was never caught. So, but I still feel it was my responsibility fully. Other people, just because other people either don't do their jobs or miss something, doesn't mean that it excuses me from not doing it either. So. So that's why I didn't tell him to pound sand or be like, okay, I'll get it to you when I get it to you, because I felt a great deal of responsibility for the state of affairs.
I didn't mean to, like, say, take your sweet-ass time with it, but more like you're feeling like garbage. You need to take care of yourself and then get done what you can get done, if possible.
Right. Yeah.
This guy didn't know how Joffrey worked. And so he promptly rage quit.
Oh, is that? Because I saw the rage quit, but I was like, why did he do that?
He had Dragonstar Raider on. He played Crusader's Assault to trade into Golden Oreo lady.
Yep.
And then just died because Joffrey tanked the damage.
Right.
And then just promptly rage quit.
Well, Slogkek. You know, Slogkek, I do apologize in advance if that is in a language I'm not familiar with, that is a common name or last name, but Slogkek to me sounds like a little imp. I'm not saying he is, but the name, like, that's what you call a little imp that runs around in your Harry Potter or your Lord of the Rings or something. It's like, oh, Slogkek's about again. No, leave me alone. I want to be a big boy too. I don't know. It just feels like an apt name for someone who would disconnect. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, those are my spectacles.
Right. It's even worse. And a nerdy imp. It's even worse. Thank you, Lagmeister. Good to see you. So hopefully we are. I'm trying to keep it rolling. Although we'll have to see. But yeah, trying to get with Lagmeister for retro's sake and Carlos, do a little more retro gaming tomorrow. But oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to.
Hopefully things are good next week. I'm still wanting to double check the because I thought it was the 31st. Not the game we're shutting down.
1 second. One second. I'll be right back.
I'll be left here. Oh no, stop defaulting to top chat, dude.
Sorry, that was really weird. I've got on a separate screen just for room ambience. I'm not watching it, but I've got Lord of the Rings kind of just playing. I did a edit where I strung them all together, took the credits out, so it's like it plays as just one big movie. So it's just kind of like background, just kind of a thing. But I have the volume off, but I was hearing like and I was like, oh crap, is my speaker shorting out or something, or is there some kind of issue with I don't know what. I'm thinking I've got some big electronics issue. And there's somebody washing their car out there, and I'm hearing like high-powered water spray hitting a car. But it sounded like, you know, if your speakers are shorting out, especially with the earbuds in, it sounded like the speakers were shorting out. So there's my stupidity. I'm going to take another hit.
Right. Where is that announcement?
It always works so well. I know, Lagmeister, that I smoked probably 2 or 3 cigarettes. What's that?
It's not cigarettes, it's pipe weed.
Oh no, yeah, these were, and unfortunately they were probably the worst. Well, I don't know. There's really not a good cigarette, is there? I'm like, you know how like you have cigars, like there are good cigars and there's cheap cigars, and there's a difference. I don't think that's the same with cigarettes, but it was for an interrogation scene, and I didn't know how to smoke, and so it did not go well. But so I ended up going through like 2 or 3 of them because it took so long to get. Because every time I take they're like, you need to smoke it, and I'm like, okay, and I take a smoke and I cough my lungs out. So I have smoked in my life, but I would say it's not enough that I should have what feels like. Well, I shouldn't say it feels like COPD. Unfortunately, my dad does have that. But anyway, let's not be... Yeah, so it is a smoker's cough. This is this cough you get when you smoke 3 cigarettes in your life.
Never start, kids.
Exactly, yep. I feel like it really died off. Like, once it stopped being like the cool thing. I mean, you still have like indie movies that'll do it. Like, if they're... You get, and again, I mean, I hate to besmirch... You know, people are just trying to do stuff, but you know, get these the independent films and stuff. You always tell when it's like, I want people to know this guy's a badass, or I want the scene to look good. I'll have the guy smoke and drink alcohol. That's kind of the cool thing. You get the smoke that kind of creates a little bit of that ambience and that kind of look, and it's like, oh, it's edgy. And even now, it's not really much of a thing. Like, I mean, but it went from being like. Was it The Simpsons, where they had a kind of was it nuclear radioactive man, And like in the middle of the episode, he's like, these Laramies give me the steady nerves I need to fight crime. Which is like a parody, like in the 50s, you know, earlier it was like, that was the cool thing. Like your cool characters, your Humphrey Bogart guys, you know, they'd be smoking. And then, you know, it falls out of favor because, you know, it starts causing all kinds of nonsense. And, you know, you don't see it as much anymore. Puff, puff, pass.
Azura, give me
There you go. Yeah. Maybe I should puff it a little bit more because I'm only doing one puff and maybe that's not enough. I can't recall what the instructions are. Oh, wait. Warning. Do not exceed the dose prescribed by your physician. Well, if I could remember what that was. Yeah, don't do this at home, kids. I thought the companies would bring back old games by now to save on development, so no, they just cancel perfectly good games and make trash. Yeah. It's kind of, I think it was the same thing. There have been a few series, I don't know of them by name, because I don't have it. Like, apparently, like on Netflix, like a series would do really well, people would like it, and they're like, no more seasons, or they'll cancel it in mid-season or something. But then, like, there'll be a series where it's like, what is this nonsense? It's like, renewed for another season. It's just like it's bizarro world. Literally everything is backwards. Hey, we got a win. We got a win from our boy Ross. That guy's really falling for the fake cough trick. Yeah.
Fake. Everything's fake.
Everything is fake now. Yeah, so do we know, is it midnight on... I'm going to try to look this up. I was thinking about that because we're going to be... I think a lot of folks are going to be doing streaming the day of the last day, but I... Okay, so Cats Are Sexy is playing in that tournament tomorrow. Excellent. How many people do we know? I'll ask him. If we had Night Dark Wolf on here... Oh, he's online, but he's on Do Not Disturb. I was going to ask him as kind of a PSA. 46! 46 people! What a send-off that is going to be. So yeah, Night Dark Wolf. I'm guessing it's going to be on his channel. Do you know anything about it? I know you said you're not doing it, but...
All I know is the quarters are Sunday. But I'm sure he's streaming it.
Yeah, that's... They're trying to get 64.
Yeah, I would have if I didn't work.
If you didn't what?
Work.
Oh.
But it's all right. It's all right.
Sometimes you got to quit your job to do the right thing.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll put this in. Here we go. So if anyone is making a bracket right now.
Nicely done.
You're playing. Oh, Denise is also playing. Excellent. Okay, so there you go. That's Night Dark Wolf. I'm guessing that's the channel the stream is going to be on. But good for him. Good for him for getting that done. I remember hearing about it, but I didn't remember. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought.
That happens to me all the time.
Quicker than your eyes.
Sorry, Mads Bertelson. Hello. I do remember the name now. But I think it's maybe the second time I've seen you. I recall. There's an urban legend: if you watch a marathon of all three movies, your lifespan extends. But do you have to have the credits in there, Baldrick? Because the extended versions are half of their length is the credits at the end. The credits for the Lord of the Rings movies are extensive. They're at least 25 minutes long. So I don't know if you can still get the full life extending effect if you're not watching the credits. And there's probably about, I don't know, 2 minutes maybe, or a minute of cut footage just to make it be seamless, because like you can't just have a movie start or like Lord of the Ring ends with them, the hobbits going off on the little cliff thing, but the Two Towers starts with the fight with the Balrog, so it's redundant. So you have to kind of cut certain things and tweak certain things so that you get that whole fight with the Balrog, and then you start with whatever. So I don't know. There's some missing footage, we'll say, just to make the seams fit a little tighter.
Ghost Ghost Legends will permanently shut down on January 30th.
And is
25.
I'm guessing it's midnight, but is it midnight? Like, is it? It's either Pacific or East Coast, I'm guessing.
Does not say.
See, that's going to be important, because otherwise you could be sitting there like, this is our last minute here, folks. This is the last thing. And then it's like, oh, we got another 3 hours because they're going off Pacific time, not Eastern time.
Yes, the game is still live, Abyss, or Abyss. We're playing it right now.
But we do not know the time. Okay. Yeah. Mads, I do not stream on Twitch currently. I think I have an account on there, but I haven't really interacted with Twitch all that much. Perhaps to my detriment. But it's hard because everybody I know and whatever, it started here, and so moving on to Twitch would essentially be like starting from scratch. I didn't want to do that with video stuff that I've already started with folks here, and I don't think they allow dual streaming anymore, or I don't know, maybe even it would be a limitation of my hardware or whatever, but currently no. So like going exclusive on there wasn't really much of an option, at least a thought, but I appreciate that though. I should probably think about it though, and who knows, if I have to go, not go dark, but if I end up having to take a step back for a while, maybe when I pop back, I'll, make an announcement or something and maybe go to Twitch. I don't know. We'll see. Right now I'm scaling back, just to try to make room for the things that you got to do to pay the bills, because that is going to be an important thing, as Ayo can attest.
Yes. Some people think YouTube is better. Some people think Twitch is better.
Yeah. Big Hind, I believe it's that link I sent you. It's Night Dark Wolf. I believe it's going to be his channel on YouTube that streams it. People stream on both now, same time, 2 streams. Interesting. Okay. The channel for Night Dark Wolf. Thanks.
What a pity.
Do we have another roper here? I guess we do. Alright, well, Cats is looking pretty darn good. Oh, that's fair. Cats always look good, but apparently they look sexy too. Oops.
Read.
Indeed. And I was I gonna hey Ronald, I know Ronald, where you been, man? I've been here the whole time. All you guys have just been MIA, and I've just been here all by myself. All right, so that was one of Cat's decks, which, as we saw, is looking pretty good.
This should help.
Okay, and the rest are not meta decks, so he's a little concerned about that. But okay, so Dariloth and Duke will be streaming. Night Dark Wolf's the final. Okay. All right, so that so which would be great, because I think Oh yeah, because his latest stuff is from 10 months ago. Or 1 month ago, okay.
The waters of life.
Alright, well if that's the case... then these would be the channels that would be streaming. You got Dariloth, and then you got... what's his name? Doesn't matter. I'll no answer, eh?
I think it's Thin White Duke's there. Thin White Duke?
Thin White Duke.
Welcome to the first episode of Legends on Legends, where I...
And then Thin White Duke. There you go. So there you go for some... what is sure to be...
We must count on our wits.
the most intense and robust tournament ever seen in Legends. It's so funny too, like that first round is like a nightmare to stream or organize, just because that's when you've got, if you got 46 people, you got 23 games that you're having to coordinate, sort out and everything. And then like every time you go to, just as the nature of math, every tier, you know, your workload is getting halved. So it goes from like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, to, oh wow, that's not too bad. And then, wow, this is really easy. And then the finals.
The hist shall heal you.
Hey, Michael Bailey. No more matches from today. Made it up to number. Okay. Trying to get into 100 tomorrow. Nice, Michael. Nice. I'll tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. That's. That's kind of the rule. Waste a lot. Actually, I have a different. Let's see, Abbas, big fan of, wait, Abbas, are you, okay, he's referring to you. If you he said he's played you under a different name and you whoop his butt. Do you know who he's talking about? Are you familiar with whooping somebody's butt?
Very familiar, but not specifically in this instance.
I mean, everybody but Inu, I guess, but,
Hey.
Hey, he's not here to stoke the fires.
I have many important things on my mind.
Nah, well met, I guess, is
I
the
have
thing
many
to say.
important things on my mind.
Hey, crazy.
I have many important
Let's go,
things
Cats.
on my
Indeed,
mind.
Frank, indeed.
I have many important things on my mind.
Baldro XK Sternip. That's that sounds like an upgrade. Baldric, you should probably think about changing your name to Baldro XK Sternip. That's like Cyber Akuma. That's the next inevitable phase. Very excited for this tournament. It is the first time I'm entering a tourney with the goal of winning instead of just screwing around and seeing how well I do. Get ready, y'all. And not that this, I mean, again, this is a farewell, so it's not a, you know, I don't think it's as big of a deal. Is there a prize impetus for it, or is it literally just being part of the epic last hurrah of Legends?
Why not both?
Back where you came from.
Oh, it sure could be. I just, you know, I'm wondering if that is a consideration as well. Because usually, I mean, we got, you know, Joe got us, you know, was able to get, I think the last tournament we did was able to get us like an actual, you know, in-game prize for it. Which just, I mean, it's part like a, you know, gives a nod to legitimacy, but it also just gives that extra impetus. Maybe for like when I see somebody saying, hey, I'm in it to win it. You know, a lot of people go in there, it's like, hey, I'm just going to try some new stuff, see what happens. Because it's like, you know, win or lose, you're a part of the tournament. You have a good time. But usually, if there's some kind of financial or monetary, some kind of incentive, that's when you see people get a little more serious. So I was just curious if it was just we're just getting serious because I want to have a good showing, or I'm getting serious because I could win $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow, what is that? What was that? Unbelievable.
It's dumb. That's what it was.
That always get with that where it's like the last 2 cards that person has are exactly what they need for.
I knew he had something. He was really pushing that lane. Hi, sweetheart. Hi.
Many things on his mind. He didn't say any nice things or good things on his mind, Mads. To be fair, I'm kind of just like, I have many. Well, he said important, but what does important mean, really? I have a lot of important stuff, but I guarantee if I would tell you what it is, you'd be like, that's important. And I'd be like, yeah? And it'd be kind of awkward. Baldro XK sounds good. Indeed. No prize this time, and we don't need one. No, indeed. That's why I was trying not to besmirch the people playing by inferring that. That's why it was an interrogative, purely curious if there was anything behind it in that regard. I mean, it was exciting. Like even though, I mean, even if the quote unquote prize isn't something amazing, especially if it's something in game where you're able to get the developers on board, which I mean, it wouldn't make sense now. At the time of the tournament, we have less than a week left of the game existing, so there was no point, and you know, not exactly a whole lot of responses from Bethesda in general, but yeah.
By the fires of oblivion.
I've been enjoying Legends of Runeterra. It's been fun.
Oh, Runeterra is what you've been playing?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Now, what if I remember though? That was that one's also not like it's not actively being updated. Is that right? It's kind of is it maintenance mode right now?
I don't think so, but PvP on the ladder is out until March. Hi.
Out as in not an option?
Not working.
Oh.
But it's coming back.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so maybe they're revamping it. They do rotation, it looks like.
Oh. Well, then that does indicate that it's not maintenance if they're updating it. So there we go. We did play it once. I think we took a gander at it, and then when it sounded like it wasn't really getting a lot of support, I think that. Oh no, I think the art. That's what it was. There's a lot of folks that don't dig on the more. It's not exactly Hearthstone art, but it does have a little bit of that vibe to it, I guess.
I think the art is very nice. People don't play a game because they don't like the artwork. They got bigger problems. They probably just don't like the game.
Well, that should be the case, but we literally had people say, "I don't like the artwork."
Yeah.
Which I mean, I can kind of. If they had something that was like all like chibi unicorns and whatever, I probably wouldn't dig on it myself, but. Michael Bailey, I wouldn't necessarily be worried about Telvanni Nixox as much as if he's playing it, Aros's Assassin Nixox, because that I think I've seen that thing go off more than I ever saw the Nixox or the Telvanni version go off. I mean, obviously it's Telvanni, so it can screw with you in a lot more ways than the Assassin can. You know, with the Dark Seducer and stuff to keep you at bay longer. But at least when Aros is running, it's pretty. Have you tried a Nixox of any variety, Io?
I have.
Have you?
Back in the day, I think this would have been Swallow. Using Uprising with Swallow Oathman, Nixox, Manor, and Altar.
Mm-hmm.
To essentially play a hollow combo. This was years ago now. I should bring it
Oh.
back. We're in the final week. Hey, get down. You can't eat walnuts. Nope. Get down.
By the fires of
I want someone to do fun decks, not try hard.
Exactly.
Well, at some point, especially like in a tournament, Magic. I mean, you're gonna have people wanting to win. I mean, ideally, I think in the perfect world, the perfect not outcome, like the perfect balance is not just campy like crazy whatever stuff, competitive decks, but that are still. I don't know you would call homebrew. Like you would say, okay, here is a meta deck, and I'm going to tailor it to me. So the deck has some person. It's not just a copy paste play best thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to use this as a base and then swap out 10 to 15 of the cards, or 15 to 20 of the cards if it's a 75 card deck or something, so that it's got enough of your personality. And maybe it makes the deck not quite as good, but it's at least something that you've created, something you thought this would work out. So it's kind of a hybrid of community input indirectly along with your own creativity versus I'm just going to play this badass deck that just dominates all the time and I have no creative input. I'm just going to pilot it. And then also on the other extreme, you've got, I'm just running some janky nonsense, which I don't think anybody cares if they play up against it. But for a tournament, if you want somebody to get further, they kind of have to walk that line between making their deck have a little bit of quirkiness, but also keep it effective. Like there's going to be probably 5 to 10 cards. Well, maybe not that many, but like I would say like 5 cards or something that they make the deck more of a meme deck or more of a joke versus I'm going to try something, but I'm not going to lean into it too heavy type of deal. I don't know. You know deck composition better than I do. I mean, but it really the line between, I feel like some decks, the line between something that's barely functional or 25 or 30% win rate and something that's almost closer to a 50 can come down to 5 to 6 cards depending on what you're running.
For sure, any deck can be made to be competitive. Unless you only put in Gerald Forger.
He's talking about you, Denise. You want to use my cough button, but it's on the wrong side. Well, it's not called. It's a mute button, I guess. We'll just call it that. But it's typically with the microphone, it's a little button you push that quickly cuts off the.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this is not looking good for our buddy Rumpin. Well, I don't know, actually. Does he have enough? No, he doesn't. It's 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. He could do 12 damage on this turn.
Careful there, friend.
Is he dead, though? 20. He is dead this turn if his opponent chooses to go face with it.
Probably gonna remove some more.
Watch yourself now.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, would it have been ideal to equip all the dagger stuff while you can, while there's no guard there, to throw all your equipment, hit for that, and maybe play all those things just so that the opponent has to worry about lightning bolt prophecies when he's going to hit you in the face.
Maybe, but the issue is prophecies, as you said. Like
you're saying for the other side.
Yeah, for the other side, like drain.
Oh, right.
Items.
Right.
Golden Initiate, and then you can throw on all the items. And
yeah.
9/9 come down.
Well, looks like he's just gonna go for the kill. Okay, so I think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to suck, and that the end of the card game is basically an end of Elder Scrolls. Underhill, I would say that is a reasonable supposition. Unfortunately, I don't. When Elder Scrolls 6 comes out in the year 2050, I don't have high hopes for it. Just from what we've seen so far, or recently from Bethesda, and kind of, I would say, indicative of the industry as a whole, I just don't. Oh, oh no. No, unfortunately. Actually, it works out. Great. To here, there's such a great turnout. Sweet Roll. Down from lollygagging Sweet Roll. This is Sweet Roll with a little more focus and a little more drive. We'll see how it's been. It looks like it's doing well for him, although we are seeing. Well, this is just bad news all over. He's got a market. He's got a Brynjolf. And he's got a very, very tiny mammoth now. No more lollygagging, baby. That's right. That's right. Frank the Tank is on a mission. Fortunately, Ketra also seems to do that. I mean, we're not seeing. It doesn't. I don't know from what I'm seeing. This does not look like the abusive market deck that we're used to. Okay, that's not bad. Make you proud.
Bow to these provincial militia.
Standing by.
Oh, okay. I think your mic suppresses most of the coughing, so we should be okay.
Okay, good. Good.
Because I hear you start, and that's it.
Fatal mistake.
Okay, yeah. Going off axis helps. I mean, the condenser is it's more sensitive than a dynamic, but if you anytime you're aimed away from it, it does help to take that down quite a bit.
Maybe it considers it background noise.
Yeah. I do have a slight sound noise gate on here.
I can smell you.
Wait. Jonas got you hooked on Marvel Snap, eh, Baldric? Okay.
You can't
I'm kind of surprised it wasn't Joe. Joe was hawking that hard. He is all about some Marvel Snap. But yeah, and that kind of goes. Was that?
That's all he plays.
You played it?
No, that's all he plays. Joe plays. Only plays Marvel Snap and posts about it all the time.
Oh. I mean, apparently it's a fun toilet game. You know, just something you play for like 2 minutes when you're in the crapper or something. That's not to besmirch it. That's just kind of, that was kind of when I was talking with Joe about it. He's like, it's not like a sit down and kind of put your brain into it thing. It's just kind of a play and move on to the next one, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
The Candy Crush.
I wish my sales through Lava Deck had slightly more viability. That sounds that might
Dangerous.
yeah. What is that like? In Daedra meets Argonian. So what would that be, like Halalu?
I have the marsh in my power.
Yeah, Michael. Any explanation on what a sails through storms plus, like, what does the lava come from? And how does swim through storms survive that? You notice it's not sails. Was sails through storms and swims through sewage? I don't know. He's doing some sailing and some swimming. but lava typically isn't in the mix.
But it's magic. He's probably drank a potion of fire resistance.
Oh, that's true. That's a thing. Hey, Macro. It has been a while. Yeah, what have you been up to, man? All you people, like, I've been here the whole time, and you guys just haven't been here. Why are you? You know, what's been going on? Well, no, I'm not gonna say I'm not well, because that actually sounds pretty morbid, and it's not that. I'm just not feeling swell for a while.
Oh.
Oh wow, our second Alduin sighting of the day. And a non-dragon. How are they? Oh no, I guess it is a dragon deck. Okay.
That's all these guys do is shout, scout, reanimate, midnight burial. Oh, yeah. I won't miss this.
Yeah, that's. I will say as much as like I feel like in a digital format, cycling is not as detrimental or like so that's the good and bad thing that I thought. I mean, granted, I haven't played anything with Magic since the 6th either, but like the cool or I guess like Runeterra, when you have cycling, it does prevent that. Like say okay, but I mean they don't typically cycle based like they don't cycle based on certain cards. It's on set, so it's like. If that was a later set, we'd still be having to deal with it, even if they cycle. But in theory, if you can cycle out cards, you know, you'll have a meta dominated by that horse crap for, you know, a year, and then it gets rotated out, and people have to find new things to play. I mean, I think it just trades one ill for another. There's just then another deck will rise to claim it, or you might have a golden age where. You know, there was enough parity where no deck really, you know, shook the world by storm. Huh. So.
Crazy thing in Runeterra is mechanic. You may or may not have seen it yet. It's called Frostbite.
Uh-huh.
You set a creature's power to 0 for a turn.
Oh.
So they could have 999 power and zoop, for 2 mana.
I have no patience for fools.
Wow.
Believe nothing.
That seems kind now as somebody who's making your own game, how does that how does that balance?
Well, there's a whole bunch of different strong stuff, so I guess it balances out that way.
Okay.
So everything is either you balance things like the way Legends is for the most part, or you make everything super strong.
Which I think that's like Magic the Gathering strategy is just it's not even power creep. It's just make everything broken. Essentially, there's so many cards. Like I was starting to keep a list when I was playing, and then I just got so long that I just stopped keeping the list because it was like. You know, cards to look out for that can you know win a game by turn 6, and then it was like, oh, pretty much all the games are won by turn 6. So yeah, I do miss that with Legends.
Yeah, and then there's this other card as well, where if it just kills everything that has 0 power. So if you manage to frostbite all 6 of your opponent's creatures, you can wipe them out. And I have pulled that off before. In Runeterra. Yeah.
Oh wow. Well,
then it conceded. Classic.
Well thought.
Elder Scrolls has been waning for years, and like there won't be any grand announcement that it's over. I think the shutdown party is like it's 1999 for Elder Scrolls. Yeah. It could very well be the case, Underhill. I mean, really, as we mentioned before, the community, the modding community in particular, has been has kept the last Skyrim, it's kept Skyrim alive, and viable and interesting. Bethesda has done nothing but just release new versions of it that really don't, I think the best thing they did was they had one where it came with like a dozen of like some of the best community mods that have been made. So it's like we haven't really seen anything from them on a creative or storytelling level to give an indication they've got something exciting to bring to the proverbial table. But you know, the cautious, optimistic route of IO is certainly not a bad deal. That because if you're cautious, that means you're not heartbroken if things go south, but you're still looking forward to it.
Exactly. Could be good. Could be terrible. We just don't know.
There's a guy named Mahler that he was referring to like the Superman trailer, and he said he had a phrase, "I'm very whelmed," where it's like not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed, just whelmed. Like don't know what to think of it yet, don't know where it's gonna go, don't have enough information, and I like that phrase. I just like I'm whelmed because it doesn't have like a negative or positive connotation. It's just like you're saying, you know, there's no razzle dazzle.
Quicker than your eyes.
There's nothing that's making me go, whoa, this is awesome. But I'm also not going, okay, this is going to be a crap fest. Don't worry, I'll besmirch Marvel Snap for you. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. Somebody's got to take up the mantle. That was a 5 Lava Atronox turn 8. Oh, okay, so that's okay. The deck he was talking about. So 5 Lava Atronox turn 8 Assassin. Holy cow!
Not bad.
No, as if how regular was that, Michael? How often could you trigger that? That sounds pretty darn good. Oh, I'm guessing it's using that the guy who duplicates. Oh no, because it wouldn't be 5; it would be 6 then. If you were somehow able to, no, you would be. I don't know. Took a break and a half. Well, it was an involuntary break, Macro. I've taken a break from life, really. I mean, I was out of bed probably 10% of the past 2 weeks, and sleeping for a lot of it, and then when the cough really kicked in, not doing so much of that, but yeah, it's a health issue, but not a prolonged. It's not. I'm in bad health. I've got an ailment. It's some kind of sick that is just making life miserable. And then combine that with the workload that I have shirked because of that, and having to do that now. That's kind of been the reduction in time. Like I might have been able to try to stream yesterday, but I was trying to catch up. But I'm only able to work for like 3 or 4 hours at a time, and then I've got to take a break. I'm not there yet. Hopefully by the year's end or the year's end. Well, yeah, by the year's end certainly, but hopefully by the month's end, I'll be back up. But I had an entire character arc while you were away. Well, that sounds exciting. Do tell. I mean, a lot can happen in 2 weeks.
I have just the thing for them.
And as I say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and you're still obviously alive. So, I'm hopeful. But the game will be dead soon. The community is great. You people are all great. It's always a good idea to look around. It is indeed, Banana. It is indeed. Yeah, I've never met so many people from outside the U.S. and had just and probably I would say with the exception of like a handful of friends. Not even a handful, 2 or 3 friends that I've been able to maintain pretty much since high school. Some of the best relationships I've had in my life have come from Tessel, and then what Tessel's encouraged me to do, which is to get into the streaming stuff, and I've met people like Lagmeister, so which has become a part of that community as well. So it's definitely for me been a high point in terms of relational development and. Just the amount of substantial or substantive common ground that's out there is really encouraging. And like how many great people there are, like, because you can kind of tell, you're like, all right, yeah, I play with this guy, but he's kind of a dick. Like I would never like if somebody would just say that, this guy started a fight or something, I'm not going to be the one to go, no, that's not like him at all. Now, I'll have made somebody in mind. I'm saying that's not that case. Like, you know, I feel like there's just people that you can honestly and genuinely say, yeah, I would break bread with this person. Like I would have no qualms, no questions about it. Kind of like, you know, I mean, you know, I had, I'm not gonna say who. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I might have, but like when Vincenzo was coming to visit, it was like, you don't know this guy, and I'm like, I know him well. I mean, I know him really, really well, and just because we haven't met in real life doesn't make it, you know, any less. And as what I know about him, yes, I trust him to spend the night. I trust him to, if I mean, I wouldn't have done it because, you know, there's more people living with me. But if he needed to crash at my place and I was going to be at work for the day, I would not have a problem having him, you know, crash at my house. Like, it's those kind of people. And you know, we sometimes you make a friend where you're like, this is a good work friend or a good friend here, but I'm not gonna, you know, I don't know, you know, I just maybe not all that amount of trust. They're a good person to chill with, but that's about as far as I want to go. Most of the people I would say is a let them crash at your place when you're not home type level of camaraderie, which is always a nice thing.
This might be handy.
The hiss shall heal you.
Thought I was retiring, kind of, sort of, unofficially. Like, I'm not like I'm done with this. I gotta sort out the real world stuff. Like, I've been enjoying the move transition and everything, but at some point you gotta come down from the.
Let's shed some light on the problem.
Oh, I was like, man, Io's been quiet. Well, he's playing his heart out right now. That
So
explains
good, I
it.
had to mute. Dog was going nuts. I don't know what you want. Do you want you cheese bone? No, you don't want that one. Do you want this cheese bone? Yes, you want that one. Okay. They're all the same. And to your point as well, I mean, Vincenzo also traveled like 8 hours to your place.
Well, he was doing a tour. It was on his way. But yeah, he went out of his way to. Well, I mean, not far, but yeah, it was a significant travel. I think I was between like he had a friend in San Antonio, and then there's one in Houston, and I'm kind of in the middle. So I think it was part of the tour, but yeah, I mean, still, like, it would have been faster or easier. He could have just skipped mine and made it to the other person's place, you know, that same night. Oh, I love to see that guy. Good old Worm King.
Not seen my life.
Well, he doesn't. Clearly he doesn't know that he's not a unique legendary. So, unfortunately for him, there's a chance that we've seen him twice already. You've not seen my like. Oh wait, you have. Oh, that reminds me. I made myself chuckle. I might do this as like one of those like little meme things. But I had Lord of the Rings on, and one of the great things about the editing work that I'm doing, there's no audio because it's stuff that's like playing with it doesn't have audio, so I don't have to worry about that when I'm editing, and so I can listen to whatever I want, and I'm listening to it, and just for whatever reason in my head, there's a scene where Frodo's talking to Faramir, and he was like, if something had happened to Boromir, we would have you tell us. And he's like, you know, he washed up. I think he said he washed up, or his body came to us. You know, he had been killed or slain or whatever, and his horn was cloven in two. And for some reason in my mind, I thought like it just struck me as such a weird inclusion. It's like you hear Frodo go, "Those bastards! That was a magnificent horn." It's like, why would you lead with Boromir's dead and his horn was cloven in two? It's like it almost sounds like. Yeah, Boromir died, but his horn! Let me tell you what happened to his horn. Those bastards, they chopped his horn in half. So there may be some significance to that, but I just thought that was a very, for whatever reason, in the state of mind that I was in, which is admittedly delirium, I just thought that was a very funny way to phrase that. And you could just see Frodo reacting and just being like, I can't believe it. Oh, it's such a great horn. Oh yeah, and Boromir was kind of cool too.
The Horn of Gondor. The
Yeah.
significant Artifact. I don't think I have enough. Nope.
One short. That's all right. You're not facing lethal yourself, so it's not too bad.
Probably has something stupid like reanimate, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Rise, my
Well, a reanimate, but it's limited. Well, it was a very good horner. I know about it. I know that's well, and honestly, what Frodo could have said also was, well, the horn never tried to kill me. Yeah, no, it's like from his perspective, he probably, and I love that like subtle jab. Like I wonder if that's in the book. I think it might be. But when he's like, "Were you friends with Boromir?" He's like, "I was." For my part. So like there's that delay, that awkward moment where it's like, yeah, we were friends. Well, I was his friend, but you know, he tried to kill me. So kind of freaky, but,
I think I read or watched somewhere, and it might even be in the extended editions, director's dialogue, that they just took dialogue that was already in the book and just gave it to different people. So probably was. Some lines weren't.
Yeah, I think it was deliberate. I'm pretty sure that was Ray's David. I think a lot of his were like, and I'm still kind of surprised because he's got my axe buried in his nervous system. I'm kind of surprised that made the cut, just because like I don't think there's anything I can think of in Tolkien that, you know, refers to or would refer to in any way, shape, or form a nervous system. Like that seems to be a very contemporary deal. I mean, it makes sense from a contemporary standpoint. We know, okay, yeah, he's talking about the brain, but like for him to actually say it's in his nervous system is like, huh. Like I don't think nervous system, respiratory system, excretory system, I don't know that those are ever flagged. It would be ye old poop dispenser or something. I don't know.
Do you know what I noticed about that scene? Or when Legolas shoots the arrow and says 43, that dialogue 43 is significantly quieter than the rest of the dialogue.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think that was because it was more internal, or do you think that was a screw up on the sound design guy?
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
I'll have to pay attention. I can't say that I've ever noticed that, but in what way were you watching the movie that? I guess to your point, I've only ever like sat down and watched it without doing anything else. Maybe once outside of the theater. Every other time it's been on, but I haven't it hasn't had my undivided attention. So I guess maybe if I were, then I would notice something like that. This is not looking good for Sweet Roll.
Too much Empire you read.
You should.
Lagmeister, I expected better from you. That's something Big Hind would say. For the record, Baldric wouldn't dish out 32 pineapple pizzas to save Schward. Why you got to bring that up, Lagmeister? We like. I thought we could put the myth of the pineapple pizza being a thing
Ribbon is only the first step on my
behind
path
us,
to greatness.
ne'er to be mentioned again. All that just got
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Was this Bubbles Bubbles? Did you finish your yak chew?
Mahler's dissection of Disney.
Beer
Yes, it is, Baldric. I was quite impressed. That's kind of what made me a fan. I was like, I don't think he's got the credentials or whatever, where he's like he's like a film critic or whatever. But what he says makes sense. Like, and it's not just. It's not, and as somebody who's a talker myself, to have a guy I think it took like 6 hours to break down one movie, but it's like you're just going into the nitty gritty of it and really just getting getting down to it, and I think the reasoning was very sound, and almost in retrospect it's a waste, because there's just some movies where it's like it's kind of obvious. But I think at the time that he did the video, like a lot fewer people were seeing it that way. So I think it opened a lot of people's eyes. But it's just like there's just, you know, like The Room. I know it's, you know, it was so bad it's good kind of thing, but it's still bad, and it doesn't, like, to do a breakdown of why The Room is bad. Now, why it's so bad it's good, or why it's bad it's funny, that I think would be worth it. But just to say why The Room is bad, you're going, it's kind of obvious. It's just horrible. And that's kind of how I feel like Disney Star Wars. It's just on the face of it, it's just bad. But he does a very good job of explaining. Like, you may not know, you may go, okay, this doesn't make sense, or this seems kind of weird, but you don't really know why. He does a very good job of fleshing that out. I was very impressed. 50-50. Dang, Michael, that is not bad at all. That's better than most of my performances. So I know I'm getting back to that late. I mean, some things never change. Schwartz is going to be 15 to 20 minutes behind on chat every time.
Azura, give me strength.
All the innocent. I appreciate that, Baldrick. Yeah, innocent people don't deserve. You know what? We're not going to be doing this for. Here we go.
I bark and burn. This is interesting.
Looks like it is time for the muscle.
I sent Discord screenshots of the deck. Awesome. Okay, I will take a gander. J Money is far from innocent. No, that's not true. I'm innocent as the driven snow. Which, honestly, I'll be honest. For the longest time, that didn't make sense, because to me, driven snow, for whatever reason, when I first heard it, was like plowed snow. You know, like driven. It's being driven by. So I was like, that's some of the nastiest looking snow in the world. Like, snow looks amazing, but when it's you know, been iced and, you know, all the other stuff to it, it's like black or like really dark gray. I was like, how is that driven? I was like, oh no, that phrase has been around for a lot longer than snow plows have been, so it must be the wind driven snow, I'm guessing.
Follow me, men.
I struggle with Magic the Gathering Arena 2. Too much text on the cards. Have to read in a hurry. Yeah, Denise. Yeah. So not good play on mobile. I would say probably one of the funnest matches I had were the ones where you could play against the computer, and it gave you rewards too. It was kind of like a way to ease into it, because the computer would let you take as long as you want. It was like Sparky or whatever it's called. So like she would just be kind of just chill and be like, yeah, you can play anytime now. Like, she would talk to you, but like you didn't have to worry about your timer running out or your opponent feeling like you're being a jerk. But I mean, most of the time with Magic, the other thing too is there's really the only thing you can learn retrospect with that is be like, oh, that's a really cool card. I should probably, or that's a powerful card I should look into. Most of the time, there's no interaction. You can't interact with a setup. Like every single time that something has happened, that my opponent plays a card that does a bunch of stuff, I'm like, okay, well, if I can't remove that card, I can't challenge that card, I can't do anything to that card, then it doesn't matter how well I know or what I know about it. It's gonna wreck me some way. Apparently, that's just how it rolls, and there's nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. And all I can do is go, okay, well, if I want to be able to address that kind of card, I should put a certain kind of card in my deck. But even then, I still have to draw it, and yeah, because I've watched people. Oh, you just need to run. Nobody wants to run these cards, but that's what you need to do to counteract them. I'm like, you can run 4 copies of those cards, and you may not draw them when you need them. And in Magic, it takes 1, maybe 2 turns of not having an answer, and you're screwed. So, but yeah, it freezes for you sometimes on your phone. Ooh. Yeah, I cannot imagine. I don't think I would ever try to play. But I know Bodybag Beezy does it. He plays Arena on his phone, but I couldn't do it. Playing it on a laptop, I don't even know that I would do it on a tablet. Well, I don't think I could actually. But doing it on the computer or like a 17-inch laptop is the smallest I'll go with it. And even then, it can be a little hard. To be fair, though, the cards in person, like, it's very small font. Like, you can't see it because it's. If I bring it up, then it gets blurry. But I mean, it's small. The size of the, like, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of people in their 70s playing this game. Whereas if, the Legends, they're big. They're big. I mean, they are a little bit. They're kind of obnoxious in that how long they are. They don't fit in normal card sleeves or anything, but it makes the text pretty darn big. Io, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Had to mute for a bit. Get the dog whatever yak chew. It's cheese made from yak milk, condensed into a hard bone kind of like thing.
So it's a punishment?
No.
Oh.
Of course not. It's something to chew on.
I will say I'm usually not a persnickety when it comes to beverages, but yak's milk, it for me it tastes about as good as it sounds. Anything called yak's milk, like I remember I was like drinking, like I didn't know. I mean I think we were somewhere in Colorado. I don't remember what restaurant it was, but I was like, yak's milk, I got to try it. I've never had it. I mean it's on the menu. How many times do you get to try yak's milk? And I tried it. I was like, this is why restaurants don't put it on their menu, because it is absolutely disgusting. Cows are where it's at when it comes to dairy.
Moo beasts.
Mm-hmm.
I smell the stench of the living.
Yeah. Oh.
Exactly. Rip Horn and also man.
Oh, I was just gonna say everyone's playing greedy stuff today. It's like, yeah. Just let me play my weird decks. Please. It's not gonna be around much longer.
I know.
Not even till the Friday. The Fools.
Yeah, I thought for a brief moment I was like, wow, it's gonna be on the last board 4, like, but no, it's not even gonna make it one more. So I don't know. I mean, it's gonna end somewhere around midnight. So like within 2 or 3 hours of midnight. I'm gonna try to find out specifically. So there will be a War at 4. I'll probably call it something different, but the final stream will be sometime. It'll probably start a little bit later. I just gotta hopefully I'll be good enough by that point that I can stay awake that long. But you know, probably start around 6 or 7 in the evening and go until the final game.
Oh, and
Lagmeister.
Never mind.
Lagmeister, me too. I think you were the ones that one of the ones that I'm trying to remember. You were there for the first one, right? The Castlevania, because I think that was the first, like that was like that 9-hour stream. I think that's when we first interacted. But yeah, I am really glad I found me as well. And I mean, we got the nice little retro community there. And it's just great to find, other people that are into that as well. And, simpatico on so many things. So yeah, it has been it's been a heck of a good time. Yeah, and very fortunate. Like you get to a point. So I remember I relayed this to my leadership class, but I did it. I was very long-winded about it. But the bottom line is, I had a dream one night. And this was legitimate. I had a dream that I'd gone back in time, which was kind of cool. But and I was trying to talk to all the people that I had met in college, and talk about like the kind of friendships we were going to have and how cool all the cool stuff we was going to go through. So it was like a bittersweet deal. It was awesome in that I got to relive everything, but it was sad because as far as they knew, none of this had happened. And I don't know, it was a weird thing. So you think about, like, after you've known somebody for a while, you go, like, it'd be so weird. Like it would be such a somber reality, whether you're going back in the past or you're just an alternate reality where you've never met people or a certain person. You're like, man, that would really suck. Like, but you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't know that there is a profound loss in your life, or you're missing something profound because you never would have experienced it. But at the same time, as somebody who is currently in that reality, you can appreciate how sad it would be to be bereft of it. I don't know. It made a lot more sense, but it also took me like 20 minutes to talk about, and I could tell people were getting bored. But I'm keep watching. If the retro games and indie stuff keeps going, we'll probably still be terrible at catching them on time though. That's cool, Michael. That's cool. Well, and I mean, who knows? The time might change as well. Like, if this job ends up being what it seems to be, where I'm going to be able to work 8 hours a day and keep doing that in perpetuity, then that's going to necessitate different streaming. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Huh. Well, we don't have anybody.
Oh, and I'll be jumping on in a sec.
Okay. Whew. I was gonna say, do I have to dust off my? I don't even remember. Know if I remember how to play. I remember there's a Magicka thing and turns for people.
But I'm glad your work has wrapped up. That's good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it's some more moolah.
Well, yeah, and I will say it's and this is just being honest. Again, there's no way to it, but there is something special, or not something special. I think there is something innate, or not innate. Gosh darn it, what is the word I'm looking for? Put it this way. Even though I don't enjoy necessarily the work as much as I enjoy what I'm doing now, the satisfaction that comes with having done something that isn't necessarily fun, that you're like, yeah, but in which you are rewarded for or compensated for it in a way that allows you to do the things you like to do for fun. There is something uniquely, that's the word, uniquely satisfying about it.
There's always a plan.
And
Well,
it's oh my God.
I was gonna say, then you look forward to the time you have off, like the weekends or the streams or whatever, because we still got our D&D stuff, and you got your streams and whatever else.
Right,
And
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it makes them more special. The times, yeah. But there was that after I like when I finished the work and I'm like, okay, or especially when I'm typing up my invoice, it's like, wow, like that is there's just something like the idea that humans are. My uncle once said we're kind of like sharks. Sharks can't stop swimming or they die. Humans, we're supposed to be always in motion, supposed to be always moving forward, doing something. And so the idea that it's healthy to be working, it's healthy to have a labor in your life that maybe is not necessarily your most favorite thing, but there's still something satisfying about it. There's still something good about it. So anyway, all that to say, I'm not like, oh, I don't want to go back to work. That said, the work that I'm doing now is much preferable to a lot of work that I've done in the past. So it would be a much different story if I was having to commute 20 or 30 minutes to get to a job where I'm dealing with a crap load of customers or something, work in retail or food service or something. It's not a downplay on those jobs, but just I remember doing those, and that's a different experience. That is this is just. Oh wait, no, I messed up again. As is my custom, we should be dual streaming. This is Sweet Roll and Aros. I just noticed. So we're gonna remedy that really quick here because I have. Wait, what? Oh, that's why. What? It doesn't show Sweet Roll on my. What happened to you, Sweet Roll? Like you weren't on my list. That's why I didn't duel.
There's a plan.
Huh.
There's always a plan.
Very strange.
BRB. Dog has to go to the bathroom.
Alrighty. I need to sleep and cut it short. Well, let's see you next time. Yes, indeed, Macro. Whenever that next one is. Black snow, snow tires, asphalt, motor oil. Exactly, Lagmeister. Yep. Oh, okay. That's even more. That's driving snow or driven. Yeah. That's even more so, and even worse than mine in terms of like how bad the snow would be. But it is exactly. And I do appreciate the plug, Lagmeister. I mean, that was. I mean, I feel bad if I'm not doing it full time. Like it's like, is it worth that $1 a month if I'm not able to do this on the regular anymore? So I'm a little bit leery about putting that out there because it's if you're doing it, 5 days a week, 6 days a week even, then it's like, okay, yeah, you're getting your money's worth out of it. But now it's like, okay, will it be once or twice a week? Maybe just the weekends at this point? I don't know. But that's my experience in Magic 2. You either get steamrolled. Yeah, exactly, Denise. Yep. And I stopped it because at the end of the Magic game, they'll say, did you like that? Which to me is the dumbest thing in the world. I mean, there is a mini catharsis if after you lose a game and it says, how did you enjoy this game? And has a smiley face or a frowny face. There's something satisfying about hitting that frowny face. It's like somebody knows that I wasn't happy about how that game went down. But like, who's gonna say, "Yay, I enjoyed the game and I got steamrolled"? But I just stopped answering it. But like, there were times where I'd win and it would say, "Did you enjoy the game?" Like, no, like it wasn't a game. Like, I got what I needed by turn 3, and my opponent didn't have an answer for it, and it was over. Like, that's not fun. Like, I'm not playing this just for the win. Yes, I want to win. Like, absolutely, I want to win. But I want to win.
My thanks.
I want to feel like I earned that win. I like, if people just conceded automatically every time. Yeah, I get the win, but it's not a satisfying deal. It's like, okay, you just forfeit. You just gave me the win. It's not what I'm playing for. But that's why I have no problem giving certain, when you come across certain decks, even in Tesla, like, hey, you run an evade, you just want the win. You don't have any. It's not even pride in your playing. You're not playing to play. You're playing what you're playing just for that win, and you don't really care how you get it. So I'm happy to give you your win, because I would rather play a game where even if I lose, I'm at least playing against somebody who wants to play the game. But I mean, it's a. Well, there. Okay, there's Sweet Roll now. Maybe the dual spectating has been turned off.
I don't think so. Sometimes people just jump offline. Like, not themselves doing it, but sometimes they just hop offline for a bit. And then they come back.
Well, that was the thing. Sweet Roll was playing. It was Aros versus Sweet Roll,
Greetings,
and they're both on my friends list. But Sweet Roll wasn't showing up as even playing, so I couldn't dual cast it.
It does that sometimes.
I feel like Legends is phoning in at this point. It's like, we're short timers. We only got a week left. Who gives a care? Sometimes we'll do it. Sometimes we won't. Exactly, Frank. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, speaking of time, I was gonna ask. I forgot how long for the last D&D session. How long did that video end up being before you got back to your desk to check?
That's a good question. I did get it remuxed.
Because I was just thinking, oh no, if he slept like all night and then didn't touch it for another 8 hours, like
no, it wasn't that bad. I think I was out for like 2 or 3 hours, and then I kind of like staggered around. Let me see.
I smell the stench of the living.
D&D.
Because I was just curious. Oh boy.
So I recorded for almost 5 hours.
Okay, that's not bad.
So the only problem I'm having right now is that Vincenzo sent me a video that shows the map, but there is no audio for it, so I have no way of knowing where the heck that is supposed to be in the video. So it's going to take me a while to try to piece it together and be like, okay, this, because I have no audio cues to match up, so it's going to be a manual going, okay, I have to lip sync or match up, figure out in general where this is supposed to go in the video, and then specifically get it down to being able to match the existing audio of my recording with the no audio of your all's recording. So it's taking a little bit longer.
Oh, no worries. It's too bad that it has to do that. I don't know if there's a way to record. Yeah, I'm sure
This
there is.
world holds many wonders.
Where the audio works on both sides,
Nicely
but
done.
maybe not.
If I fall,
I mean, it could have been recorded. I would imagine. I don't know. I don't know what was used to record it. But you typically there's some kind, even if it's bad quality, there's typically some kind of audio there. But just was told that there is no audio. And maybe I'll find audio with it. I haven't opened it up yet. But when he told me that, I was like, okay, well, that's going to be a bit of a
Azura, give me
like.
strength.
Usually, there's like a video, like a visual cue or an audio cue to kind of let you know this is where, this is where things are happening. But there's not going to be that. So, but it's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
My paws are quicker than your eyes.
What is it, sweetie? Huh? You had your Yakchu, and then you decided to move your bed around the house.
Got the yak chew. She's like, why are you punished? Why do you hate me? What did I do to you?
It's not punishment.
But yeah, Frank, Legends does have way more, and that's the thing too. I mean, and I will say this to Magic's credit. I mean, it's been around for 30 years. So you got to imagine, like, at some point, in order to create more cards that aren't just essentially reskins of older ones, you've got to add more stuff, more qualifiers, more powers, more abilities, and to explain that adequately so that, read the card, know the card kind of thing, you got to put more text on it. So I think it would happen to Tessel too if Tessel was around for 30 years, because you can't just get away with, like, there's a finite combination of cards with keywords and very basic, understandable and balanceable situations or powers, if you will. So yeah, it gets to the point where you're reading a small novel. Now, some of them have flavor text on there, which is kind of cool.
By Arcade's beard, stay
But
back.
Any non-cow milk is going to taste super weird because milks have very specific flavors. It's very true. Very true.
Like camel milk. Heard it's
Have
grainy.
you had camel milk?
No, I just heard it's grainy.
So what?
Grainy, like
Oh.
almost like sand, but not actually.
Oh,
Or maybe
okay.
it is. They don't eat sand. Like man.
Right. If I fall this day, may I eat sand.
Which actually would suck.
Yeah.
Sand's terrible.
There's a reason why it's not featured in most cuisines except for beach food. Usually beach food has a nice dose of sand in it somehow. Like, wasn't this in a Ziploc bag in a cooler for the whole time? How in the world do I have sand in my bologna sandwich? Well, it's called a sandwich, so I guess there's your answer.
Ah.
Hey.
Secret sauce.
Yeah.
Why is everyone playing crap?
I'll
Nicely
take you all
done.
down with me.
It's all just a bunch of anti-fun decks.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's like the 5 stages of grief. There's denial, and I can't remember. I know anger's in there somewhere, and then finally acceptance. So maybe this is people are going through their stages of grief with Tessel, and apparently they're in the bitch out stage where it's like, well, maybe it's just anger. I hate the fact this game is leaving, so I'm just going to punish it and all the people who play it because I hate the fact that it's leaving and it hurts me so bad. And then eventually it'll go into something less mean, and then finally acceptance. So I think that could be it.
Let's see if I can remember that. We have denial. Then I think it's anger.
Oh, is it anger right after denial?
I think so.
Oh,
Maybe
bargaining is one of them.
Bargaining. Then it's
Hear my command.
I don't think it's depression next because acceptance is the last one.
Right.
What's after bargaining?
Bargaining.
Bargaining.
Oh.
Yeah. Bargaining.
We might be.
There's something in there. Threat. Oh well.
Get out of my way.
Guess I'll have to kill you.
I was gonna say there's the magic of Google,
There is.
but I'm not using it at all. Don't let my
And I played a puzzle game that had no dialogue. It was just a puzzle game, and you're this character who goes through the 5 stages of grief. It's a beautiful puzzle game. It's called Rime, R-I-M-E. Probably not much on Steam anymore.
Okay.
But
You
it's
said
really
R-I-N-D, rind?
I-M-E, Rime.
Oh, rhyme, but not the traditional spelling.
No.
Okay. But I think you had it. Depression is the last
My
one.
paws are quicker
I think
than your
Acceptance is the last one.
Well, sorry, I mean like before, like the last one before Acceptance, like because
right.
Acceptance is where you want to be. That was the last thing you experience before you get to Acceptance.
Mother of mighty claws.
But yeah, Undertale, and that's an interesting thought process because not saying you're like, because interesting can often be confused with like I'm not like it's a thought experiment to go, okay, do I not like this because I'm comparing it to cow's milk and expecting it to taste, if it tastes different than that, then I don't like it, and how much of it is on its face, I just don't like the taste of this particular beverage. So I don't know for certain which one in my head it is. I know I did not like the taste of it. Like same thing with soy milk. I'm not thinking it's milk from a cow, so it's its own beverage, but I did not like the taste of it. Almond milk I didn't mind. I didn't like it, but it wasn't really strong. So I was like, I could take almond milk, but I just, but I don't know with Yak's milk, is it? Oh wow, is he gonna get? He is. Nice, A-Ross. Doink. Tell you what, A-Ross.
Here, I'll send it to you. Just in case people listening want to play it.
Oh, there we go. And no dialogue, you say?
It's either no or very minimal dialogue. Like the character doesn't speak.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
the beauty of the game, is there's nothing except the
So-
environment.
So it's like Mario.
Sure, there's platforming and climbing and that kind of stuff.
Well, no, Mario doesn't speak either.
Yeah,
Quench your
and there's similar gameplay as well.
Okay.
By
Yeah,
your
it's a puzzle
orders, of
puzzle game.
course.
Really love the game.
It looks actually just at the screenshot of the thumbnail looks very Tears of the Kingdom-esque, just in terms of art style, very very bright and
And a good ending too.
which that's a big deal. I like that. And, it's not, you can't take it for granted. There's plenty of stuff, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad movie or story, but there's plenty that does not have a good ending. Now, do you mean good ending like uplifting ending, or you mean a satisfying ending?
A satisfying ending.
Okay. So it can be depressing, but it would still be satisfying. But yes, I don't know how much of my dislike for Yak is going, or Yak's milk is going, this just doesn't taste enough like milk, because I can't avoid that comparison. Or if I just don't like it because of its own merits. Streamer 7 of 7 is doing a no repeat year of Atari. Oh, interesting. 7 of 7.
Bargaine's number 3. I thought it was number 3.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, you had the order right. We were missing depression.
So it was denial, anger, bargaining. Oh yeah, 5. My brain. Yeah. Depression. Like, why am I thinking I'm missing one when it's 5? That's because I read an article where apparently there's 7.
Oh. Well, I mean, it depends on the person too, I'm sure.
I mean, the whole thing is not exactly accurate. Because some people go through them differently, some people don't go through them at all the same way.
Right.
Some people skip stages. So it's just not 100% accurate for everybody.
Here's the bummer. There was a for Switch they had a best of Atari, Atari's top 50 games, and I got it because in my head I'm thinking Pitfall, I'm thinking River Raid, I'm thinking what was another one? There were like 2 or 3 other titles. Keystone Capers. There was just a lot of really cool games. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. I mean, I didn't love Atari. I fell in love with Nintendo. I liked Atari. That was the first system we had. It was left over from when my dad bought it, and that was pretty much the only game system I had until probably, was it 90? I think it was 1990 I got the Nintendo. But come to find out, unfortunately for me anyway, the best games on Atari were done by Activision. And so they were not able to be featured on the Atari collection because they are Activision is its own entity. There's people that left Atari to do their own thing. And so unfortunately, I've got the best games, and there's probably only like 5 that are out of those 50 where I'm like, yay. The rest of them are like, oh, okay, these were games. Activision really, back in those days, Activision was actively making awesome games. I'm going to play a couple if it gets quiet. Thank you for appreciate that, Denise. Granted, that was 20 minutes ago, but
it's Andy. It's Aros and I. If you wanted to dual spec it.
Oh crap! It is both of you again. I wonder if it's gonna let me do it. We'll see. But yeah. Look at that.
We're both Canadian, okay. That's the way it works.
Yep. Nope. That has to be it. Yep. The cross platforming. There we go. Oh wow. I mean.
You gave it away, didn't you?
No, I gave nothing away. No.
I can't pick up on things at all.
My nonverbals did nothing to impact your mind. I always have the same dream.
This is a Dagoth version of his assassin deck. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, well, maybe. I don't see any of those. Well, okay, never mind. I won't say anything. Wow, he's exactly top 100.
I've given up trying to push. I'm just wanting to play.
Well, you already got top 10. Why? You have nothing left to prove, sir.
Nothing.
You have crested that mountain.
What is it, Harpy?
Bolt.
Nope. Usain Bolt? We'll never know. Hit for face.
Woo. There you go. Cuts both ways.
It does.
Lag my shit. I always have the same dream, but different versions. It's the last day of school, hang out with friends. You are leaving, and you know you aren't coming back. Oh, that's a very sobering. Very sobering. I don't think I've ever had that one. I've definitely had a lot of school dreams. You know, showing up at the end of the year, didn't take a single class, don't know where the classes are, that kind of stuff. Haven't had one with that kind of somber, friend-related or friend-oriented type deal. Sounds like a bittersweet, kind of similar to what mine was, I guess. I remember telling my friends at a dream they'll be a couple and have kids in the future. Their expressions after hearing it were a bit weird. Did it happen though, Baldrick? That would be kind of trippy if it went down that way. I'm guessing it didn't because you didn't mention that it did. But yeah, I could understand people being like, wait, what? But who knows? It's that whole what was it? Was it Macbeth? Where if you're told a prophecy, the actions you take to try to make sure that prophecy doesn't happen can often, or in the play that I'm thinking of, his actions trying to avoid that prophecy happening, or maybe it was Oedipus. But like it's like hearing the prophecy is what allows the prophecy to happen. So it'd be interesting if that did happen, if they would have gotten together and had kids, if you hadn't put the idea in their mind that they would actually be a couple. So like giving them the prophecy is what actually enabled the prophecy to happen. It's a mind job. It just makes you go across that. Inu, there he is. Jumping to say hi. I actually have an exam tomorrow. Wow, Inu. Well, thanks very much for showing up. Yeah, I feel bad, man. Like we were just getting the some traction with the board game, oh man, the Skyrim board game, and then I end up disconnecting here essentially. So, but good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, we'll see you maybe on the last stream of ever here in the next week. Getting tired, folks. Hope to see you all again. Keep stuff up. Jesse, follow you on your channel. You're awesome. See you soon. Thank you, Banana. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. And thanks for coming by. I know for you and Denise and stuff, it's a hard thing to do, especially if you got kids and all this other kind of stuff going on. But it has been a pleasure. I'm glad you're still gonna stick around, and I look forward to continuing to talk with you, sir. Maybe we can find a game. I know I feel so bad because Jay Shades was like, I love
Yep.
what was it? It was a Zelda. It was, huh?
He loves lamp.
He loves lamp.
Oh, Anchorman. Anyways, it was a Zelda.
Majora's Mask. That was it. Majora's Mask and then Castlevania, both for 64. And unfortunately, I did not play those for very long. So I try. But if I just can't get into the game, I just can't get anything. But hopefully, maybe there'll be another game that we can play that would also pique the interest of some folks.
Yeah, we still gotta try our Age of Empires 4.
So what?
We still gotta try our Age of Empires 4 at some point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed. I totally lost my train of thought. This is not. It might be a slightly shorter word for either that or Io. You're just gonna have to take over for a little bit. I'm already starting to have some cognitive kerfuffling. I knew already, but I didn't predict. I did predict my another friend's daughter being born 2 years in advance. We were on a beach, and he came to tell me the good news. Whoa! Wait. Was that Brovington or that was Baldrick that said? Oh, no, it was Baldrick. Okay. I only had one good food job. I was running a deli restaurant. It was fun. I worked every single day. Oh, geez. But hey, if that was a good food job, even having to work every day, that any job where you can work 7 days and still like your job, that's a big deal. Most people, you're like, okay, even if you like the job, you're like, I like it, but I got to have that break. Give me a day or two to and even a lot of the food jobs, like you'll have a Monday off. You don't get 2 days off, but it's like because most food places are trying to be open on the weekend, and then they'll give you like a Monday or Tuesday off or something. Magic the Gathering has a huge problem with the system. Yeah, I'm coming to see that, Underhill. I am, and I wonder, especially when you've got a game around that long and a lot of people that have been playing it for that long, I wonder if how much of the, not the distaste, what do you call it? Oh wait, wow, this is still going. Holy cow! I was like, wait, how am I dual spectating? And oh, it's this one. It's been going on this whole time.
Ooh, Honey Badger's here. How's everyone doing today? Still thinking like you.
You have a bad dream about a friend. Yeah, I've had bad dreams, not about a friend. I've had dreams where I've gotten very angry or had fights with family members, and those are like my current day nightmares. Like I don't have nightmares, scary stuff, demons, whatever, spooky stuff. My nightmares are that there's been some relational fallout, with people that I've never had that with. Because I've never really had issues with any of my family. In terms of like either not speaking to each other or having like being angry at. Recently with one of my family members, we kind of did, but in the dreams are really bad falling out, like animus, and just, it's not good. And
Keep your distance.
yeah, those are horrible dreams. But then there's that relief when you wake up and realize, like I had one last night, I can't remember what it is now, but there was some dream where I was thinking, this really sucks. It's kind of like a more complex version. You ever have a dream where like your hair or your teeth are falling out? Like not like you're losing your hair or your tooth is loose, but like you literally, like you look in the mirror and you're missing like 4 of your teeth. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, goodness. Oh, Io, you dirty bastard. You. Who was it was saying there's no fun decks on the ladder right now? Mr. Take that shriveled mummy. I can't remember. Is he always target the high? No, random. Oh, highest cost. It is highest cost. Yeah. Oh, so mean. So mean.
Well, I don't know what he's got. I'm probably going to get comboed. I'm worried about a Wompo combo. Let's see. There was a head cook, and I want to work every day.
To submit or come
Salads.
to die.
Cook. Doing something wrong there.
Time to make more enemies.
Sand is literally small rocks. That is very true, Frank. And that would.
Strength.
Oh, he's bringing Azora into it again.
Oh boy. It's not going to be quite enough. There you go. Why? Six, 7, 8, 9. Probably has it. Oh well.
Wow. Oh, jeez. Would you believe they won't answer my request when the server will be shut off? I can believe it, Denise. I can believe it. And now look, I don't want to put unrealistic expectations out there or decry a company. I mean, when you're the size of Bethesda and you're probably getting so many messages and emails and what have you, and especially if you're relying on AI to sift through them, so you're not actually having a human discerning, okay, this should get an answer or I can answer this quickly. Like, I get why that might be a reality. It doesn't change the fact that from a customer perspective, it is a very... it's a very frustrating, thing. So, yeah.
That's a top deck right there.
Yep.
From where you played it, that was a top deck. That feels bad. Gonna mess it on top. Deck. Feels bad, man. Alright.
But yeah. I had spaghetti with sand in it one time. We were in the desert during a sandstorm. Well, that makes sense, Underhill. That makes sense. Although I don't know that I'd try to eat during a sandstorm, but but that would make sense. That would make sense why you had your sand in there. Nice. Just had what does FOB stand for, Denise? I mean, you were well fought, Aya, well fought. Edge. That rage. You got him back down to 2, and then I mean there was no. I mean he had a mentor's ring. That was the only combo piece that I saw that reminded me of anything. So I think he just had a. He was playing before. He was playing like a keyword deck. So I think maybe that was. I don't know that he had anything nefarious cooking, but.
Look at me, GG. GG. Swept.
But not bad for an off-meta Skelly deck there. But yeah, Denise. So yeah, it's one of those sad things. I can believe it, but whether it's because of company incompetence, malevolence, stupidity, or simply just realistically being unable to, I don't know where it is in there. When it comes to Bethesda, I don't know that like there are some companies where you're like, hey, it's a good company all around. If something isn't getting communicated or something isn't happening, that probably means there's just some hiccup on their end. Bethesda doesn't necessarily have that confidence for me where I assume that, good company, just maybe not on the ball kind of thing. I could easily see it being something, yeah. So, yeah.
It's always been a funny expression to be.
What's that?
On the ball. Because balls are not inherently stable.
It's very true. It's very true. Well, you know what? That begs the question here. I love doing this. On the ball. Etymology.
Oh, Honey Badger asks if I could ask you if you saw his messages on Discord.
Who asked?
Honey Badger.
Oh, Honey Badger. No. Let me see. Well, Honey Badger asked that?
Mm-hmm.
On Discord?
Honey Badger.
Uh-huh.
Discord. Yes.
Yeah, I responded because he sent me a meme, and this is what it was. On the one hand, gold, Lord of the Rings trilogy. On the other hand, slightly less valuable gold that I still enjoy. And I responded, it's funny and tragic at the same time. I was going to say it's funny because it's not true, but you know what? That I still enjoy, I can't argue with that. And I wouldn't want to. I would never want to take somebody's joy. I don't want somebody to stop liking something because of something I say or just willing it to happen. So I'm like, hey, that's cool. But calling the Hobbit trilogy less enjoyable gold is it devalues the gold of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's where my beef comes in. If everything is given the title gold, then either it is genuinely two things that are gold, or you're besmirching the one label of gold by giving it to something that is undeserving of the title. But it's still funny because it's true. And however which way you slice it, it's still quite amusing. So yeah, I saw that, but I haven't seen anything else from you, Honey Badger, on Discord. And my response was the last thing, so I don't know. Right, to take bargaining is number 3. Yeah, anger, denial, bargaining. Yep, absolutely. See, this is why I'm trying to catch up, because people are saying cool things and then I'm seeing it late. It reminded me of Submerged, also a game of a girl taking care of her younger brother in a water world kind of scenario. Such a good atmosphere. That is good. See, I think water world as a world, as a concept, is great. It was just the movie was what? But like the idea of like people having to live essentially on. I mean, I don't know. I can't say I have a great idea for it, but I think that's a pretty cool. I could see somebody making good use of that setting in a better way than the movies did. Holy shit, do you know the classics? Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. Wait, what are you talking about there? what are we talking about here? In terms of the classics. What was that reference to?
Couldn't tell you.
Maybe it's Waterworld? Maybe he was referring to Waterworld? I love Lamp. Everybody loves Lamp. Wait, is that a joke? Because you said that too, right? I love Lamp?
Well, I mean, I said it earlier today when you were saying someone loves and then trailed off, so I filled in the silence with Lamp.
Is that not that's not a movie quote? That was just you just throwing out a random word?
It was a movie quote. What was it? Anchorman or something? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were okay.
All this guy has is silence to silence my guards and hit me for face, and then I'm dead and he takes the silence. What is this?
I've heard that song somewhere before. I'm trying to remember who sang it. It's kind of catchy. And now I'm finally getting to Honey Badger's entrance. Hello, Honey Badger. Good to see you. Still kicking like a mule. I sent you a meme you need to see. Oh, no, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your message back. I worked last night and just woke up. Fair enough. And to be fair, my Discord responses are typically very slow these days. Which is weird. Like, there's some people... Hang on a second. There are some people that... there are some people who they respond to Discord. They're on Discord more than they are like anything else. So like if you send them a text, they may not respond, but if you hit them up on Discord, they'll get back to you immediately. So it's just it's a different dynamic for different folks. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah. See, and that's the crux of the disparity in our realities, because I'm pretty sure you could use that same meme and put the original trilogy, Star Wars trilogy, on the top, and you would put the prequels on the bottom. Or I don't know, maybe I don't know that I've actually heard you say one way or the other. Maybe you would equate them. I perfectly. Like I think you made the understanding that the Hobbit movies aren't amazing, but you still enjoy them. But I don't think you've acquiesced to the reality that you still enjoy the prequels, but they are also equally as horrible as it's what is that the equation? The Hobbit is to the Lord of the Rings as the prequels are to the original trilogy. It's one of those things. It's a oh no, the arcane salami, Thuldir. If that is in fact, I think last time we weren't sure, or it was believed that the Thuldir we were seeing either is Thuldir's account but given to somebody else, or it's just somebody called Thuldir who is actually not Thuldir, or is it in fact Thuldir? But whoever it is, if it's not the Thuldir, it is somebody worthy of the name, as he is currently ranked number 2. Which is why I would like to choose to believe that it is Thuldir. But we don't know. Either way, Edmorn will have his work cut out for him. I was the head cook and wanted to work every day. That's how cool the job was. Made all the salads from scratch. Sliced. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Lagmeister. Were you the one that was talking like not to, when I... Maybe it wasn't you. There's somebody who's like, yeah, I want to make like a sub or something like that. And we had this whole conversation where I'm like, I definitely want a sub, but I don't want to make it myself because my subs are never as good as anything else, even though it's technically just a very fancy sandwich. I don't make them well enough. It's not as delicious.
They're tasty though.
They are, yes. Fact. I might get one because I have not eaten today. That's the other thing too. The appetite is fickle. Like I'll wake up, I won't have an appetite for like until 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock sometimes. But then when it hits, I'm hungry as hell. Like incredibly hungry.
Be gone!
Ooh, that hurts. That is the death knell right there. We got to sample all the food too every day 3. We're like 5. Oh wow! Oh, that does sound good, Lagmeister. I mean, granted, cooking is not my thing, so that would be my. I mean, I'll put it this way: I would rather learn to cook than wait tables. I hated waiting tables. That was like that. I'm surprised I've had nightmares about that. Waiting tables is my nightmare. Some people, they're amazing at it. Lots of people are amazing at it. For me, there's nothing worse than the combination of it's just everything. It's just the noise, the getting triple sat, trying to carry food out and drinks out and hoping you don't spill stuff.
Tips.
Yeah, you're not guaranteed. I mean, and you know, I remember, heck, my dad was like, when I was waiting tables, the standard was 20%. It's been 20% for the longest time. But my dad was like, wasn't it 15? I'm like, no, Dad, I would starve to death if I got tipped 15%, which isn't true at all. But to be fair, I had about a third of the tables as anybody else because I took longer. Because I would talk to them and everything. It wasn't ideal. I'm not saying I was doing a good job. I was decidedly, from a business standpoint and from a, personal standpoint, you're there to make money, not friends. But I was far more interested in talking to people and everything. And then I'd get triple set and be like, oh, I got to go make money. Give me a second. Hey Ross, whatever that deck is that he is running, that Dagoth deck, it's been doing very well every time we've watched it. Oops, it's a friend challenge, but so Roz Pierre Dole against Shadow Azura. Two high-end players duking it out, possibly in preparation for the. I would imagine they are running practice for the tournament, so we might be seeing some tournament cards, some tournament decks here at play.
Welcome, friend. Talking mud crab merchant. Read my lips. Mouth paws.
Hey.
Yeah, I understand, Honey Badger. It's saying it is bittersweet as we get down to it.
I'm on your side.
Get down to the last days.
Final Countdown comes to mind.
The song?
Yes.
Yep.
Surprise!
Yep. I mean, everything but heading to Venus. We're not going there, but we are. Everything else in that song is very.
I mean, you die.
Yeah. It's
We must remain steadfast.
Interesting.
Didn't see this
Okay,
coming,
I
eh?
don't even know if you want. Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah,
folks, just doing a little.
I will spill your blood.
Deserves another.
I love it when
With
they
a
say
horse
that
and
phrase.
back.
It's my favorite thing. Bread is key. Fresh loaf French bread is always a good start. Cheese buns. Keep talking about food on these streams.
Yep. And I'm gonna have to, because I'm starving right now, so I have to, I have to remedy that.
It's like last time where we talked about, what was it? Nachos or a burrito or something? I think it was
Oh.
nachos. And you went and promptly got nachos. Now it's sub.
Yep. And I'm looking. Where's the subs? There we go.
They will perish in flame.
Wow.
Meatball sub.
Go on.
That does
Try
sound
to
good.
hit this one.
I wish, man, it's so hard to find a good I love cheesesteak, but it is hard to find a good one.
Most suck.
Yep.
You have met your end.
Okay. So I'm probably, like I said, I am. I'd probably be a 3 hour stream today. Going downhill fast, but yeah. Let me rip the shadow lane.
Raged.
Just forget about C.
For most of the rage. That Heroes and I, that game. That's what he's referring to.
I bow to your victory.
I don't. Oh,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I just reading a comment here that says, I hear pineapple pizza is a good cure for any ailment you may have.
Well, yeah, because it kills you. So, I guess technically if you're dead, you're not ailing anymore. You're just gone. But that's the only, I mean, if you want for death and you have no enthusiasm for life, then by all means eat a pineapple pizza. But if you have loved ones, if you love life, if you have a desire and a passion for anything that is good and wholesome in this world, Mr. Frodo, then you don't eat pineapple on pizza. It's pretty.
But pineapple cuts back the grease. It cuts grease out of pizza. It makes it better.
Actually, when you combine pineapple with the grease, it makes a pineapple-y greasy concoction that is known to deteriorate internal organs. It's very, very few people who are willing to acknowledge that. The pineapple pizza cartel doesn't want you to know. But I mean, it's just like pouring acid down your throat. And it tastes about the same.
Let's see: meatball subs, hot pastrami, roast beef, and pavlova.
See, I thought we'd gotten away from the food discussions when Antoine kind of went MIA. Has anybody heard from him, by the way? He's the last one. Inu was gone for a while, but we got him back. And then, but yeah, Antoine has been gone for a while now, and I've not heard from him. Underhill, to answer your questions, I first of all I like the alternative spelling of bro. Is this a text to type or talk to text thing? Because like I've seen bruh, B-R-U-H. I've seen bro, B-R-O. I've never seen like dough and bro put together. So bro, B-R-O-U-G-H. I don't know that I do. I might. I've had it before, and it wasn't this. The longevity of it does, but there was a sick smell in my nose that was unlike, you know you can smell sick, like especially if it's like head congestion. You have that like. It's not like literally a smell, but there's something that you are aware of olfactory wise that is like, it's like a smell of sickness internally. I don't know how else to put it. COVID has its own, or at least the version that I did, or the degree that I had it did, and it was a horrible smell, and it just made everything so much worse. I didn't lose my sense of smell, but the sickness itself had a smell. I don't have that. I don't really have it, and that's the other thing. I don't have any congestion. I'm not really profusely having to blow my nose. There's not a lot of stuffy nose, runny nose. No headaches or any nothing up here. It's purely fatigue, exhaustion. I mean, which is different. Like fatigue is like a body thing where you just feel like you can't drag yourself out of bed. It's fatigue, exhaustion, like a mental type haze, which is symptomatic. Oh, for crying out loud, Rune Rider. Dagnabbit.
I know it blows.
Keep your distance.
So I shouldn't say I'd be surprised, but I'm not. I would not expect the test to prove positive, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it was. It would be like, okay, yep, that's kind of on brand for that. But it's mostly just the cough and the fatigue or the exhaustion. 4 pounds of fried fish fillet, enchiladas, whatever was left over, and only pay 50 cents for 4 to 5 pounds of it. Wow, Lagmeister, that is sweet. I might dig on a job where I could do that. Although, I mean, man, how long do you have to? Or how long can you do the job before you get?
Apologize.
See, at least he knows he's being a.
Nah.
I have no need for eyes. I have seen
Whatever's coming next is not going to be fun.
No, it's probably. Guy, you called it. Don't know why you did. What you did.
Take up hit bait.
Prophecies are but words. I judge by deeds.
We stand united.
Nice. If you don't have a device experiments, though, I'll be very surprised.
Well, he probably does. Or that, yeah, that's what I thought he was going to think.
Yeah, why not? Just dogpile all the stuff on there.
Yep.
Underhill, yes. I've been battling a Final Fantasy VII stream. Sorry, IO. That's manure, but what are you gonna do?
That's okay. I'll just go find some drywall.
You're spending a lot of money these days on drywall. But yeah, so we're about 6 episodes in or 7 on a Final Fantasy VII on the Final Fantasy VII deal. So I would like to continue that one because there are people that are interested in that one. It is kind of a love-hate relationship with me right now. There's a lot that I'm not a big fan of, but I still kind of like playing it and I like it for what it is, but it still is very frustrating. But so I do intend to get back. But yes, to answer your question, the only reason why there has been no stream is because of the sick. I haven't played a video game other than I pulled out an old laptop from like 2007 and I had a copy of Diablo 2, the original Diablo 2, not remastered, the original one, on there. And so while I'm laying in bed, I have put the laptop in on my chest there, and I had a little mouse, and I just played some Diablo 2 for a few hours in between sleeping. So that is the only gaming. That's the only other thing I've done really for the past 2 weeks. I haven't streamed. I haven't played any other video games. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played Magic. I haven't played Legends. I haven't nothing. Not even really watching movies because I'll have like a YouTube video on and I just fall asleep to it. So yeah. But if I am able to get back, when I'm able to get back into streaming, Final Fantasy VII will be in the rotation for that. My dinner is done cooking, so this sweet roll has to run. Schwart, it was an honor to be part of the last Ward 4. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. It was an honor to have you here, and a pleasure. We haven't seen you a ton. I know you got a lot going on right now. So I was glad you were able to join us, and I'm glad you have your dinner. Your dinner is done cooking, and that you are currently, as we're speaking this now, in a better place, eating delicious food.
Go get them, Skywag.
Be right back.
Go get them, Skywag.
It is a very good price, Baldrick. Yep. And it's good. It was good. It wasn't just, like whatever food. It was good food too. I think that's another big thing regarding regarding Lagmeister's post job deal, where it's like, hey, you pay a pittance really for the spare, which is a nice compromise, because like you don't want to just throw the food away. But I remember I worked for a place where it was like they didn't want to incentivize people to like not. I don't know. People can do stuff to take advantage. You know, people always do. But like, okay, we're going to charge you something. It's not just you're going to freeload it, but it's going to be greatly reduced and give you that value if you were able to take it. But yeah, that is. I'm also in that vein, Baldric. I would be at my level of fitness and health, I would be rotund in a very short amount of time if I had that kind of access to food. 5 other guys in the house. Still kind of miss that job. What happened to the job then, Lagmeister? What happened to it? Did the place close up, or did you just moved on? Go Greek classics, Oedipus Rex and others. Okay, gotcha, Underhill. Now I understand. I mean, yeah, I read them now. Here, I will be 100% honest. I am not. I haven't read that. Like they were things that I read for school. So I have not sought them out afterwards. So I'm not a scholar of the arts. I'm not a scholar of the classics necessarily. The only kind of classic literature I've read voluntarily, or not voluntarily, but like sought it out, was like Shakespeare. Like I do enjoy, especially I mean, where the rhyme is there. It's a challenge to deliver. It can be a challenge to deliver Shakespeare that rhymes in a way that is not like, you don't want to just make it sound like, you don't want to be sing-song. You don't want to sing it or say it as a rhyme, because then just whatever, you lose all the emotion and whatever. But to read it that way, just the amount of appreciation to be able to have this complex interwoven dialogue that also rhymes. It's hard enough to find good dialogue, period, but then have dialogue that actually works functionally on a high level and have it rhyme is just so much fun. So but I have read Oedipus and some of the other tragedies. But again, I don't want to paint myself as a scholar or somebody who is smarter than I am. I didn't seek those books out. They were given to me to read, and like Beowulf was another one I remember reading.
I seek the poet gods,
and I enjoyed them well enough, but yeah, I'm just not. But I'm not as familiar. Like if you were to ask me, like the Odyssey, what happened? Like I'm like, well, I remember there was. I think the Odyssey there was the Iliad, and I think Iliad and the Odyssey are two different things. One of them has the sirens where he said tie him to the mast so that he would not be. And then there was the giant where he said he blinded the giant. And he told him his name was nobody, so he said nobody's attacking me or something. There's a lot of clever stuff. And then the Oedipus complex, which is killed his father, married his mother without knowing it, and then gouged out his eyes or poked his eyes out because he was so traumatized by it. I think that's, I don't know if that's the Odyssey, or I think that's one of them though. It's been a while. No, episodes 1 to 6 are perfect. Oh my gosh. See, there you go. So now, Honey Badger, the problem with your system there is now if you ever say, "Oh, Schward, that episode was perfect," or "Schward, that quote was perfect," I'm going to my head. I know that for you, perfect is sand. It gets everywhere. And we obviously will not be able to satisfy this contest with our knowledge of the Force. So we'll have to use lightsabers. He actually said that. There's an entire line where he's like, well, let's fight with our swords. Like, could you, I mean, like, just take the sword out. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Like, that is like film, show, don't tell. Like if they're fighting each other with their like force powers, which I mean, let's be fair. At that point, they were spiraling out of control with that crap anyway. Where it's like that would have been the equivalent to Luke on when Luke fought Vader in Empire Strikes Back, where Vader starts throwing does all the box thing where he's throwing all the peripheral stuff at Luke, and Luke is doing the same thing and just like throwing stuff, and they're just smashing boxes off of each other. It's that level of stupidity or banality, I should say.
I missed the context because, well, I'm back. Welcome back.
Oh,
but are we talking about where they spin all their lightsabers in episode 3?
No. This is even worse. Although, thank you for the reminder that, and I get it could be because of Christopher Lee's age or whatever, but there were numerous times during his fight with Anakin, which I think was in the second one, where they just cut to this close up of him. And it's just like they're just doing lights like this, like he's not moving. He has this. There's like an extreme close up on him, or not extreme close up, but maybe it's an extreme close up, where it's just pretty much his head and shoulders, and like you don't see what he's doing, but he's just got this intense look on his face, and you're seeing like the lights of the lightsabers cross in front. It's like apparently they ran out of footage, or they didn't have a good shot of him actually doing something, and I think they did the same thing for Anakin to make it, to have it not look weird. But it's like they would cut to these extreme close-ups. And I'm sorry, in a lightsaber duel or a sword fight, the last thing I'm caring about seeing is a close-up of somebody's face. Unless it's like they're pressed in and they're like glaring at each other and they have a line. But it was really just like... Anyway. But no, it was Honey Badger, of course, being Honey Badger, said 1 through 6 is perfect, is what he said. And I was just saying that... When you use that word to describe those kinds of things, now it tarnishes the label of perfection as it is. So if Honey Badger were to say that line was perfect, or I really liked this, it was perfect, I'm equating that. And then I was talking about the where Dooku and I think it's Yoda are fighting, and he's like, clearly we cannot decide this by our mastery of the Force. We must use lightsabers. And I'm like, that was the most needless and ridiculous sounding line ever.
You didn't even need to say it. Just have silence where they switch to their lightsabers without saying any dialogue.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, we just watched you guys do your little force thing back and forth. We understood, okay, nobody has an advantage here. And so they both stop and take out their lightsabers. Obviously, the reason they're doing that is because they're not getting anywhere throwing force crap around. So, I don't know. It's just one of my examples of that being perfection. Well... It's just diminished the meaning of the word, that's all. It is Thuldir, says Denise. Okay.
There is
awesome.
There is something to be said for villains that don't say much.
Yeah, well phrased, yes. Absolutely. What's the same principle as, went with Jaws? Now, granted, it wasn't intentional, but the less you see of the shark, the better. The less you see of the menace, the less you know about the menace, the better. And yeah, villains that, that's why it's a trope, the whole villain monologuing thing. It actually diminishes your villain when they stand there grandstanding saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. It's a campiness where the villain that doesn't say anything, where you don't know necessarily. Now, he has to be written to have a good motivation. You can't just be like, oh, nobody really knows why he's doing what he's doing. We need to know. Somehow the audience needs to know why he's doing it. Ideally, to your point, like if it's a horror movie, you want somebody saying, oh, and I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, but like legend has it that the reason why, with Jason or something, that the reason, he doesn't say, well, guys, the reason why I'm killing you is because the villagers did blah, blah, blah to me and my mom or whatever. I don't remember what his backstory is, but it's some kind of janky, messed up history or something. But Jason doesn't tell you that himself. I don't think. I've never watched the movie, but I don't think he gets up there and monologues and says, when I was a kid, I was mistreated and blah, 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 and that's why I'm doing all this. It's other characters saying it, and then you just look at him and go, whoa, that's why he's doing all this stuff. But now, you're not wrong, Honey Badger. 4 to 6 did have some weak moments, absolutely. I would say most of them were in the movies where Lucas was doing the most of the writing, which would be the first one. And I think he did a little bit of Jedi. Or he had a little bit more. Empire was the one where he had the least amount. And apparently, according to his producer, he changed the story for Jedi from what it was. And that was part of the reason why Kazan bailed. Was because he's like, this is not what it should be. So, and then Lucas was all over 1 to 3. So, the common denominator here is the higher Lucas's involvement, the worse the dialogue and the worse the overall product is, as opposed to him being more of a producer slash get the talent together and then let them do what they do best. But they were equally great. Subs are 90% the bread. I make sub rolls from scratch that are insane. You could eat farts on them and it'd be great. That is, well, okay, that's one of those challenges that I would be curious to see, or no, that makes you go, like that intrigues me, but not enough to, even if it were possible, to eat a sandwich with, it's like the floor is clean enough to eat off of. That is great. I will not challenge you on that because I don't necessarily want to try to eat food off the floor, even if it is as hygienic as you say. I don't know that I'd still want to eat a sub with farts on them just to be able to prove or disprove that claim. But I understand the spirit in which it was said, and that's some damn good bread if that's the case.
Speaking of Phil Deer. He's almost got me.
He's what?
He's almost got me, but not yet.
Oh. All right, so I think. Oh, this is invade anyway. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on with IO here. No, it wasn't me. If I have the ingredients, I can make some good sandwiches. Okay, all right. So it wasn't you, Lagmeister, but you are in the same boat where you got the stuff. Bread is key. A fresh loaf of French bread, Italian, is always a good start. I always get the great grains cheese buns. Ooh, those do sound good. Meatball subs, hot pastrami, roast. Oh, this is what you were reading before. Okay. Cheesecakes? You made cheese steaks? Chickpeas? Is that what we're talking about? You are correct, Lagmeister. Pineapple juice is very good. Pineapple is very good. In fact, I actually could go for some pineapple right now, but I wouldn't put it within. There is a restraining order. It's unofficial. Only the people that know. But there was a restraining order by pizza to pineapple. Pineapple is not allowed. Technically, is not legally allowed within 15 feet of pizza. But there are people who have a disregard for the rules and for propriety. They have violated this contract, and now not only do they keep it close, they actually put it on top. So, I mean, that's just the world we live in. But pineapple is fantastic. It would never be smirched. Pineapple on pizza. Pineapple. Oh gosh, see, that's how bad off I am. Let's see. All right, so Io looks like he's going to be able to pull this one off.
Like pants.
Yes, Io, like pants.
Behold the light of the tribunal.
Wow, that was a nice little combo there. Unfortunately for Thuldir, it didn't give him card draw, which is what he needs right now. But luckily for Io, he has got... Oh. And now that doesn't give breakthrough, does it? Okay, it doesn't.
No.
But still, that it gives you what you need against guards.
Let's see, do I have any?
Looking pretty good.
I do technically have enough.
Teriyaki chicken and pineapple is so good. Yeah. Those actually go very well together as well.
Don't have enough anymore.
The longer the odds, the sweeter the victory.
Pineapple is normal because tomato is a fruit. Meat is weird, not pineapple. Well, we're talking about things that go beyond. I mean, the chemical properties do not or the fact whether something has a seed or not, because that's the distinguishing between a vegetable and a fruit, is how the seeds are grouped, whether they're internal, external, whatever. That does in no way justify or defy whether something should go together or not. It's all about the natural order. Huh?
The U.S. Supreme Court classifies tomato as a vegetable. But
does it?
but they're botanically defined as fruit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna just as a general rule, I'll side with the botanist on that. I don't know what was the ruling that became something that the Supreme Court had to weigh in on. I mean, I'm guessing it wasn't literally whether or not it's a fruit or vegetable. I got to believe the Supreme Court at any point in history has much better things to do with its time than debate such a thing. But
1893.
Oh wow!
So I guess it's still in effect.
Jeez. Man, I wish I still had Diablo 2. I had the expansion 2, but never got to play it because the game gets... Oh, man. So, Lagmeister, truth be told, so I actually still do have my Diablo 2 discs from the Battle Chest that was released. Oh, by the way, GG, IO. GG on your win over Thuldir. That was well done. He got you close, but you were able to rally and stonewall him there at the end, which we've seen him push through in other games, so well done.
Rally indeed.
But Lagmeister, that said, the one, because the laptop I have is an old MacBook Air, so it's, really tiny, from like 6 years, 2007, so almost 20 years old now. I think it was 2007, maybe it was 2011. No, 2010. It's an old laptop, put it that way. So there's no way really for me to play it without all the wine skin and all these other kind of stuff. There's no really way to play it. I actually found it was like, I don't remember how small the file was. It was really tiny, but essentially a small windowed version of it. And that's what I actually play it on the computer. And it's like an update where you have pretty much almost like an infinite stash, which is really cool. So I've got like screens and screens and screens of like potions that I'm collecting. It was fun. It was kind of what I needed at the time. Something I could play while I was in bed, and it's so chill because it's, it's not, the skill is in the build, not necessarily the execution. I mean, there's a little bit of microing, but for the most part, it's hit, and then if it's getting bad, run away or teleport or something, and then just chug potions. Need to go to sleep. Good night, Denise. Well, I can gauge whether or not Denise is asleep or not, if she's actually left or not. Let's see. How long ago did she say that? That was back 5:27. So that was 20 minutes ago. Now, something you all didn't know, but that is definitely a truth and not something I'm saying just as a test. Denise loves Thorana. If she's really asleep, we won't hear from her. If she's not asleep, or if that somehow awokened her, then we will get the rebuttal. The job ended because I had to move. We moved to a really run-down house in North Dakota and fixed everything in the house. The landlord wanted to rent it for more since we fixed it. Oh no! So you moved, did a fixer-upper, and then once you got it awesome, the landlord upped your rent. So instead of appreciating the fact that you pretty much fixed it, like you fixed up his own property for him, oh wow. I think maybe 1 in 10,000 people or less even knows what Oedipus Rex is. So you do well. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's Oedipus Rex. Okay. Else I would not have come here. Ah, man, it has been a while. It has been a while, and I'm glad there's other people that like yourself that actually are more avid with that. Because I mean, it is. I mean, the other thing too, it's hard because it's like we've got our the modern sensibilities, and but it's like these were being written so long before, like you didn't have classes on storytelling. You didn't have. These were just raw people. I don't know. Anyway, it was just huh?
Raw people.
Yeah, raw people, uncooked. But it's just people figuring it out at a time before there was a structure, before there were known things to do. And but I mean, it goes to show how fundamental it is that if people aren't given instructions necessarily, there are not pillars of storytelling, but tenets of storytelling that just happen organically. Like they're just, this is how you tell a story, or how to tell a story well. And you can see from those stories that's how it's done. So they're impressive things to read, especially understanding that. We were already paying $2,000, and the landlord tried to have 30 truckers throw us out of place, so we left after. Oh my gosh!
Careful there, friend.
Jeez, I'm sorry, 2,000, not 20,000. The house was over a dump, and the septic and water froze over while we were there, which is another nightmare. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's where my Ugnip is in a better place now. That could be why he's not here today. Or he's in the process, I think, of being in a better place. This is a move time. So that just made me think, because he was having some bad water issues as well. But that sounds absolutely miserable. Well, J Money, chat you guys later. I got to change some radiator hose on my truck. Have a great one, everybody. All right, Lagmeister. Sorry I wasn't able to catch up before you left, but man, that is. I'm not salty, Lagmeister. I don't have the energy to be salty. I'm barely conscious. Holy crap! I just realized Lucas. Holy damn! I never made that connection myself. But yeah, that's if you want to talk about inserts. Oh, nice. I'm glad to see that man getting some love right there. The Fighters Guild Elite. He never sticks around long enough to snowball, and you got him nice and beefy. You got him to be he's a big body. You got him into a big body. Not the biggest body I've ever seen for him, but definitely one of the big bodies.
Let me see. What's the artwork?
Making cheesecake? It's like a blender thing. Oh, go ahead.
Is it one of those orcs that's actually a lady that everyone thinks is a dude? Let's see.
I would be kind of surprised. Well,
Maybe
no.
Not. Nah, maybe. Maybe it's just Dushnik.
Dushnik, and then I think there was one other one that people were saying was a chick that didn't.
Maybe not. I don't remember the voice line because they muted. So maybe if they have the same voice actor. Next time I play it, I will turn on volume and let you know.
I should have been listening, but I'm pretty sure it's like the puny runt. I think it's that voice, if I'm not mistaken. If you can add chickpeas, it makes the cheesecake you get at higher end places. Are we saying cheesecake or cheese steak? Underdog. I'm guessing you don't put chickpeas, huh?
That sounds diabolical.
What, chickpeas and cheesecake?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
No.
See, I think it's meant to say cheesesteak, but I don't know that I've ever had chickpeas with my cheesesteak. So
As long as you're here, try to be useful.
Clearly, I think we're missing out on a lot of things. The amount of food discussion in here would suggest so.
yeah, it's getting out of control. Legends, you didn't stay on long enough to see invade opponent rage DC. Sorry, Rumpin. I'm sorry, Rumpin. It was magical. So, Rumpin, I was playing Full Deer, and as soon as I saw they were playing Invade, I was like, So I do apologize, Rumpin. I am sorry. Let me I'll send him a message here.
The game before ours, yeah. Fuldir wasn't playing Invade.
Oh no, and Rumpus is gone. No, Rumpin, Rufus. Why?
Made like a tree. Made like a tree.
Yep. Made like a baby.
Nicely done.
Don't know that one.
Head out.
Ah.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a classic, but yeah. It's... No, okay. That was not a typo. He was, no, you blend them into a cheesecake.
For real?
Cheesecake and chickpeas. See, that's another one that I don't know that I want to test out the veracity of that, because I mean, it can't be worse than the axe milk, right? I guess that's where I come down to it. That's how they make the cheesecake at fancy high-end places. You know, I'm gonna run that by my mom just to see if she's heard of that, because she's usually that wouldn't disqualify. I would just be curious if she's like, oh yeah, that's just a thing. Like, Or she'd be like, "Oh, I've never tried that before." Or maybe like I could see how that would be. I would just be curious because she usually knows that kind of weird stuff or things that you wouldn't think would go well together. Like there's some stuff she puts in like chili where I'm like, that chili was really good. She's like, "Oh yeah, I had a blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Okay, bye."
Cottage cheese.
Move aside.
Wait, cottage cheese in
Chili.
chili. Really? I don't think that was it. But that you do that?
Let's
Yeah,
knock
it's
some
pretty
heads.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So we've got. There you go, folks. Chickpeas and cheese cake, and cottage cheese in chili for a better, more satisfying eating experience. Allegedly. I don't want anybody to cite this channel for misinformation, so I cannot say I can personally vouch for these things, but I can vouch for the people who are vouching for them. And so I would say, more than likely than not, they are correct.
By that logic. pineapple
Although,
is
huh?
by that logic, you agree that pineapple is good on
Nope. That's why I said. Although I was like, these are both people who think that pineapple belongs on pizza. So I'm gonna go grain of salt, folks. Grain of salt. Take their advice at your own peril. Unless you agree. If you agree that pineapple belongs on pizza, then you're probably all in the same swampy, cannibal-infested boat. They did that because they want pizza to be a vegetable for school lunch programs. Oh, jeez. Or drug it out of the closet, apparently. There was a big argument over it in Congress in our lifetimes.
If you're looking for trouble.
I mean, that makes sense. I was like, why would you, but like, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable isn't, I mean, in theory, I mean, fruits still have sugar. It's healthy sugar. It's good sugar. It's still sugar. So the whole idea where like the whole food pyramid thing is as far as I've heard, and from what I've seen, it's kind of it's a bit of a sham. But like why? But back then, fruits and vegetables are both they were lumped together. It's your fruit and vegetable group. So I'm wondering why they would need to make it a vegetable versus a fruit when both I think would be, if they're just trying to justify putting pizza on the menu, and like I would think fruit would serve as just as well as vegetables and vice versa.
What a pity.
But I'm sure it was something like that. It's like, well, there's some repercussion. We have to. There's a bigger implication of whether or not this is a vegetable versus a fruit. But all right, so A-Ross not giving up. I would have, but A-Ross. What about you, Io? Would you give up with a situation like this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because of the time factor.
Right.
Your blood will feed my mouth.
I mean, to John Dillinger's credit, he is he's not just turtling up, which I mean, he doesn't really need to. He's got the life advantage by far now.
All right, let's see.
Training is over. It's time to act.
See, the problem with the cough is that even though the headaches and stuffy runny noses are not symptomatic of whatever it is that is afflicting me,
I'll do what I can.
you cough enough and your head starts to hurt. You cough enough and your nose starts to run. It's
Took a wrong turn.
You know what it is?
like as humans, we should be eating like 90% fresh vegetables and nuts and 10% meat. Huh? Hardly anybody does this in the culture, but that's... Which, see, Underhill, that's... I've been taught the opposite. In fact, I've been... had people on the carnivore diet where it's purely meat, and they say the exact opposite. They say we shouldn't be eating that many fruits and vegetables. We're not meant to digest those. That blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, so it's you just kind of pick your poison. Personally, I'd rather eat meat myself, and... yeah, but, you know... but yeah, there's and that's where I come down to, where it comes down to like experts. You know, experts say this, experts say that. You can almost find experts with the exact same credentials where you can nitpick, well, they went to this university or that one. But there are experts, doctors. In fact, that was the person who told me about the carnivore diet and said you can't abandon carbs and those other things altogether. You know, everything in moderation. You do need to have, you know, some of each one, but you know, a heavier, more focused on meat is not a bad thing. But then you have other doctors that would probably say what Underhill is saying. Hey, we should be eating fruits and vegetables. And so it's like you just have to, you can pick and choose and say, well, this study shows this. Well, yeah, but that study was debunked. Well, that debunking was debunked, and just snowballs. Just eat what you want. I mean, there's somebody who has severe medical issues, like severe health issues. She eats nothing but lamb, not even meat. It can't be steak, can't be beef. Literally, it's nothing but lamb, and she's in the best health of her life right now. And you go, well, how could that? You know, I don't know, but that's and she could be lying, but
no, she's a human, not a lion.
No.
It could be.
Which is another kind of meat. Which is another. Dynamite drop in Iowa.
Alright. On that note, I think I'm gonna actually head.
Alrighty, yep. We'll be wrapping up in about the next 5 or 10 minutes anyway.
I figured it's not gonna go on much longer. Do you know what you have, by the way? If it's not the Rona, like.
No, because the problem the past 3 times I don't get sick very often, but the past 3 times that I've gotten sick, when I've gone to a doctor, I've been told, well, it's probably just a virus. In other words, I've never gotten a prescription, or if it has, it's been kind of like a very mild version of something. And they're like, you know, give it another week or 2, and then we'll see where it's at. And so I was like, right now going to a doctor to just have them tell me, well, it looks like it's just a virus or something, that kind of thing. So I've been trying to give it some time to work itself out, so that if I go to the doctor and say, I've had this for 3 weeks, let's get something here that, let's prescribe something, please. Because they wouldn't even, there was something where it was like, it was obvious, like a bronchial infection or something. And, like no antibiotics. I'm like, what is your, like, I've had this for 2 weeks and you're saying, well, I think it's viral, not bacterial. And it's like, okay, well, so that was a waste of time and money, but, yeah. So I have not gotten it analyzed yet. If it goes on for another week, I'll just bite the bullet and do it.
Nicely done.
Because like last night, I usually don't like to do it, but I did like the cough syrup thing, and it put me out, and I slept for like 14 hours, and I think I said until I sat down, it has been vertical for all this time, I actually felt a little bit better. So it may just be, I just need more sleep, and it'll work itself out in the next couple of weeks, but
hopefully, yeah, hopefully you're good in a couple weeks as well. When we have our next session on the 8th. Hopefully things are cleared up by then.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't be as bad as they were when I showed up last time. That I couldn't put a thought together. That was a debacle. But yeah. That's the good news. That's the good thing about it being spread out like that is because this Saturday. Oh boy. Oh, it's John Dillinger again.
It's the same game.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Okay. Alright, well, thanks for having me on, Jesse.
Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate that.
No problem. And catch you next week. Bye, everybody.
Yes, indeed. Farewell, sir.
Farewell.
Let's see.
Three gods.
Um,
True faith never sleeps.
I don't think it's sugar that's the issue. Look at foods. I think it's the refined sugar and the different types of corn syrup and everything. The problem is our society. There's sugar everywhere. Oh yeah, that's very true, Honey Badger. I meant in the sense of, like you still trigger insulin with fruits. So like if you're trying to like a keto diet, if you're trying to do something like that, where you're trying to go into ketosis, even though it's healthy sugar, it still triggers the insulin. So it's and you can still overdo it. It's not as it's not harmful or as harmful or anything like that. I mean, it's natural. So it's a very different thing. It's not equating the two, but like for me, I was like, oh yeah, you can't like starting your day by eating a ton of, fruits and everything like that are higher in sugar isn't necessarily ideal. Same thing, oatmeal. Like I was raised on oatmeal. I was raised on fruits and vegetables and oatmeal. I mean, that was my mom's big thing. It's like even oatmeal, unless it's a certain kind, it's got to be like pre refinement or pre something. It's got to be like a raw version of it. Even then, oatmeal is high calories, not a lot of other stuff, or at least that's the new thing. I mean, like eggs are what I hold up all the time and say, how many times has this thing been glorified and vilified for what it is? Oh, it's too high in cholesterol, it'll kill you. Oh, it's really, really amazing. It's the best thing ever. Oh, if you eat it, and then, oh, well, the whites are good, but the yolk is not. Well, the yolk is where all the protein is. And so it's just like back and forth, back and forth. If you try to, I mean, as long as nobody's trying to force anybody to eat a certain thing, like to say, hey, I think this is the better way to go, or studies show this is the best food to eat. And you can take it or leave it, but I'm just putting that out there for your knowledge or for your edification, or just something to think about, something to chew on, if you will. Then that's fun. Then we can have just it's if it's ever like this is what we've decided this is what is best for humans, so you will not be allowed to eat anything else. Then we've got a problem. Either way, even if it's something that I would agree with, even if somebody would say, well, if somebody were to come in and say, hey, nothing but meat for everybody, I'm like, well, no, that's not. You can't dictate to people what they're going to eat. Especially when there is no. I mean, again, science isn't consensus either. It's not that, but it's not like there aren't people saying or studies showing or whatever else that this is that and it's different. It's not. I don't even know. Heck. We were talking about smoking. I think there was even somebody saying, oh, there's a study that's showing smoking isn't all that bad. I don't remember. Maybe it's secondhand smoke. I don't know. But omnivores, by definition, I hate the arguments for restrictive diets. Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned this in the last one. Humans also, for the longest time, we had, what do they call that? Not bifurcated. I don't remember. Essentially, we used to sleep in two chunks. You would sleep from 8 o'clock until like midnight or 1 o'clock. You'd be up from 1 to 3, and then you'd sleep again from 4 until 8 or 9 in the morning. And that was pre-industrial revolution. After industrial revolution, after lights became a thing, and so you could kind of preserve daylight, and people weren't having to go to bed at 7 or 8 at night because you really couldn't be functional in a lot of ways. But yeah, I mean, there's extensive records of it where people would be up in the morning, or people would be up for a few hours in the middle of the night and then go back to sleep. That's not a normal thing now, but I mean, that was standard for, like I said, up to pre-industrial. At least that is what a research or investigation, because people talk about like first sleep. What the heck is first sleep? Is it earlier in the night? Like what is it? First sleep is literally first sleep. There's sleep 1 and there's sleep 2. And that people would actually go out. They had lives at like for those 2 hours. Like they would actually go out and do stuff, do chores or whatever. Farms would do things like that. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting. You see where the doctor couldn't prescribe anything because there's no cure for the sadness of testosterone out. Aw. Very true, Honey Badger. It's very true. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there is something they could prescribe for it, but we're in a. I shouldn't be saying, Doc, I need morphine for the pain. It might work. Oh my gosh. See, at least A-Ross is in a good place. He has got a fistful of cards. His opponent has now played 2 of these. Wait. Where? I could have sworn we saw Isn't that the second new era we've seen? Oh no, it's all three. The guy has played all three new eras. So, and he's got nothing, and Aros has lots of cards. So now he doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Care to make a friendly wager?
Hope to catch the final stream. Yes, indeed, sir. Exactly. It's like, this worked for me. I can't say the same for you. There's also different studies for smoking cigarettes or cigars. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I think putting information out there and having, like, again, I mean, there are definitely people who just digest whatever they hear or see and just roll with it. But I think for the understanding should be, here's a study. Read the study, understand what the limitations of the study are. Like, was it, was it a good study? In other words, do your research, do what you do, and try it out, because it's not a one size fits all for a lot of folks. I mean, there are some things, like, as a rule, that are just going to be bad for everybody. I mean, but like, I mean, if you look at the allergies, like, I mean, I don't remember, and it could have been a thing. But here's the thing: the interesting thing, like, with something like a peanut allergy. Those are typically not like, oh, I've got a peanut allergy, I get the sniffles if I am around peanuts. These allergies are like, I'm going into anaphylactic shock or whatever it's called. Like,
nicely done.
These are not allergies that if they've been around for hundreds of years, like, and we just haven't known that was an allergy, but now we know. It's like suddenly, within the past 30 years, you've got these allergies that will kill somebody if a food that is in a lot of different foods, if they're, and so it's like, how natural is that? How normal is that? But if you were to go off of that, you would say, well, you shouldn't eat peanuts, because for this number of people, peanuts are deadly, or they give them diarrhea or something like that. Well, you don't want to tell people you can't eat peanuts, but I mean, you can't deny the fact that it does negatively impact however many people. So you can't say don't eat peanuts, but you can't also tell everybody they should eat peanuts, or that they're a great healthy snack, because for some people they wouldn't be a healthy snack. Second, sleep. When you think about it, before lamps and eventually electricity, when the sun went down, was night. That's it. The day is over. Well, that was the thing, Honey Badger. But then that was a little bit of my questioning, even as I was saying it. And I don't know that the study showed or talked about it, but like, so the lights go out, like, which exactly what you're saying, at 7 or 8, or 8 or 9 or whatever. But the fact that they get up in the middle of the night when the lights are still out and do stuff, I go, wait a minute. Well, it can't just be the lack of light, unless, I guess the idea is you go to sleep because the lights are down. Like, your body just naturally is going to go that way. But then you get 4 or 5 hours of sleep and your body wakes up naturally, because they didn't have alarm clocks either. And your rooster isn't crowing. So what was getting people up naturally at 2 o'clock in the morning before anything that could prompt them? It had to be more or less of a natural thing. And so you go, well, I'm awake now, I might as well be productive. And you get up and you do stuff for 2 hours, and then you okay, I'm tired again, go back to bed, and then you wake up later. I mean, like, and what a lot of the comments that I was seeing were people were like, I was told for so long that I had a sleeping disorder, that this wasn't healthy, and blah, blah, blah. And that was causing me more stress than anything. And now I find out that's actually possibly what we're meant to do anyway. And it was just such a relief. And again, maybe not for everybody. I mean, there are night owls, or people that, are naturally at their most awake in, between midnight and like 8 in the morning. I'm not going to tell them, well, no, you need to sleep this way, it's better for you, as long as your health isn't taking a lick. Okay. Well, for a long time, infant mortality was way higher, and they didn't understand why. Other things like diabetes and allergies and other stuff we can now treat from birth. Well, and death in childbirth as well. That was when I remember people would go to bed like right as soon as the sun went down. They'd wake up and do some stuff and then go back to bed until daylight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. That was it exactly. And I mean, I think because I was still doing video. I wasn't streaming as much at all, but I was doing videos while I was doing the trucking thing, and I was having that situation. I was losing my mind over it, because I would go to bed. Now, granted, I was working overnight, so it was already screwing up my sleep. But before that, it was at the tail end of my last job. For some reason, I just started having this abnormal thing where I'd be wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd go to bed at 9 or 10 at night. I'd be wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork. Like it was between 2 o'clock and 2:05 every single night. I would be up and I'm awake. Like I'm like looking around like I feel like I just slept whatever. But I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the damn morning. If I get up now after 4 hours of sleep and then try to go through an entire day and then I've got to, like that's just not going to work for me. But I'm like, why am I waking up at this time all the time suddenly? But the thing was, I realized I called it tricking my body. If I got up after those 2 hours, or at 2 o'clock, if I got out of bed and did stuff, or even if I just sat up and read a book or did something, but as I'm vertical, I'm no longer in a reclined position. If I was up, maybe did a little bit of some chores or went in and did some editing or something, just for like an hour and a half, I could go back to sleep in a second. If I didn't do that, I would lay awake for the rest of the night. So I was like, I thought I was tricking myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to get up and make myself think, oh, hey, I'm doing my day now. Look at me. I've slept. Yeah, body. I definitely slept. So now I'm getting doing my day. And then after like 2 hours, you go, and then my body's like, oh, it's time to go to bed again. And then I would sleep until like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. And so now I'm wondering, was that my body trying to rectify itself or something? I don't know. They also didn't have memory foam mattresses in 420 to let them sleep for 12 hours at a run. It's very true. That is very true. Yeah, sleeping was not the idyllic, more or less idyllic scenario it is now. I think it was Da Vinci who slept 15 minutes every 4 hours. Never had a set sleep schedule for like 6 to 8 hours during the night. Interesting. Because you can't sleep during the hot day without air conditioning. Oh, that's very true, Underhill. That is very, very true. Which is something I wondered about. You experience now. Granted, it's a lot hotter now. Like, industrialization did heat things up. I mean, you got your concrete jungles, asphalt buildings, all that kind of stuff. It's naturally just going to make the ambient temperature hotter, regardless of any other factors. Like just the fact that we have more buildings, more people, and all this other stuff condensed, it makes things hotter. But even then, you're talking, maybe 5 or 10 degrees or something. It's still hot as balls. And so it's like, man, how did people even live before air conditioning in a place like Texas or Nevada? Now, granted, probably Nevada wasn't all that populated back in those days, but like, you've got a lot of these places where like life was either absolutely miserable or nobody lived here, or there's something that they did that we didn't know about. And I would imagine something like that where you say, okay, I'm going to be productive at, yeah. But yeah, you cannot sleep during yep. I can't even sleep during a hot night. Like now to be fair, I have been on camping trips where it was so cold that I really couldn't sleep either. I got temporary sleep here and there, but trying to sleep in the heat is a miserable proposition. For sure.
Close ranks, let nothing through.
But folks, it has been great. It's been great to see you guys again. Obviously, I would prefer it to be in better circumstances, but for now, I'm going to have to step out. I got starting to get the headache from the stuff, so I'm not up to 100%. Unfortunately, not even close. But we will definitely. Even if I have to wake up like 2 hours beforehand, I'm going to try to find out what time the servers are actually going to close and set up a stream accordingly. 3 or 4 hours, pretty much leading right up to it, maybe with a little bit of time afterward, kind of as a post-mortem. But that'll be next Thursday. Was talking to the fellas about possibly doing another retro stream tomorrow for a few hours. Hopefully I can do that. Otherwise, for the time being, until this goes away, until kind of life keels out a little bit, probably not going to be seeing too much streams. Like I said, definitely not going to miss the Tesla one. So next Thursday we'll be definitely doing one. If things turn around, things get better, and I think I can be upright for a decent amount of time without hacking my lungs out. You'll start streams creep in. But like I said, I'm also going to be adjusting to what is ostensibly a part-time job, but may have full-time hours. And if that's the case, I need to switch gears at this point, focus on that, and then reintroduce streaming or videos as I can in relation to that. So you can get used to heat even as a postmodern person, but it takes years. They were born in the wild. We merely adapted it. Yeah, that's very true. Take the vitamins. Yes. Okay, so not the orange juice enema necessarily, but yes, vitamins. Yep, I got some vitamins. And the other problem is I'm not getting out for my walks. I'm not getting the natural vitamin D. But yes, I do have vitamins. It's a good call. Drinking lots of fluids, and just trying to make good choices. But thank you all, folks. It has been a pleasure. But I will talk to you hopefully soon. Thank you as well as always for the uplifting and fun conversations and dynamics, and thank you for making me hungry.